There were two types of bosses. The humanoid boss had the shape of a demon beast. There were two types of bosses. The humanoid boss had the shape of a demon beast. But there's a boss in a formation? The formation that Long Fei was in was shining with a golden light, just like the golden light that was being released by Nangong Wudi, the boss's aura. However, these ghost warrior did not have any gold light on them, so Long Fei determined that this was the formation. Inescapable snare, tight, tactical method. It was the end of the tree. In that instant, Long Fei shouted loudly, "Grandfather, don't come over." This array was very strong. In the middle of the array, Long Fei could feel the destructive force from the 9 heavens and earth. Indistinctly, this array was like a spider web with power connecting every part of the body. I don't believe that I can't break this inescapable snare, tight, tactical method of yours. Long Fei coldly snorted. I've broken through even the Long family's dragon-locked tactical method. Compared to the dragon-locked tactical method, your array formation only has a little more people, and the power link is only a little more powerful. Lunatic Long shivered and stood there in shock. He asked, Xiao Fei, did you break the Long family's dragon-locked tactical method? Nangong Wudi's face was also filled with shock. In terms of array level, the dragon-locked tactical method was above the inescapable snare-tight tactical method, but it had actually been broken by Long Fei. The creation of the Long family's ancestor had been unbreakable for tens of thousands of years. Even the Long family didn't know how to break it. They only knew how to refine a formation. He, a youth not even 20 years of age, was actually able to break the dragon-locked tactical method. Nangong Wudi laughed coldly and said, Long Fei, you can brag as much as you want. The inescapable snare tactical method and the dragon-locked tactical method are completely different. Just tremble inside this inescapable snare-tight tactical method. Ha ha. He didn't believe Long Fei at all. Long Fei did not argue. Breaking the array was the best proof. Suddenly, Long Fei's voice sunk as he shouted, Xiao Bai, understood. Roar. Xiao Bai's gaze tensed up, and the aura on his body suddenly exploded. A huge illusion of a wolf god appeared beside it, and Xiao Bai roared out, Kill! Wolf god immediately rushed forward. When he blocked the attack from the ghost warrior, the power of the wolf god released out, violently shaking the area. A large part of the ghost warrior were blasted away. However, in the next second, these ghost warrior gathered back together. They were completely unable to cause any damage to their attacks. Ha ha ha. So what if it's a divine beast? Ghosts are spirits. They can't be killed at all. Ha ha. Nangong Wudi laughed complacently. Looking at Xiao Bai Lang, he was secretly shocked in his heart. This kid actually even has a divine beast. A divine beast, white wolf. There was also a colossal dragon. Long Fei moved and shouted, Ice fire! Understood. Boom. Long Fei took a step forward, flapped his wings, and directly charged into the sky, charging out from the hole in the ground. Nangong Wudi laughed coldly. You want to escape through the air? It's no use, ha ha ha. At this moment, boom, 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 those ghost warrior suddenly changed, immediately turning into a giant cage, as if they were an arhut. Powerful array power crushed the ice and fire inside. Rumble. Anger spewed out, burning the ghosts. It was completely useless. These ghosts weren't harmed at all. They were invincible. They were immune to any kind of attack, and their attacks were exceptionally valiant. If it wasn't for the fact that he dodged the fire and ice, he would have been seriously injured. With every attack, the 3,000 over ghost soldiers gathered their strength and directly slashed down. His strength was incomparably powerful. The ice and fire fell back to the ground. Long Fei looked at the sky and thought, Even flying is not okay. Ice and fire. How much distance is there between us? The ice-fire dragon's eyes narrowed. After calculating for a moment, it said, 500 meters. All right. Xiao Bai, Binghua, return to my war pet space. Long Fei's voice sunk. Xiao Bai and Bing Hua didn't understand. Master, what do you want to do? You alone are no match for this formation. Master, please let us stay. Long Fei said, your attacks are useless against these spirit bodies. They are immune to our attacks, but as long as we kill Nangong Wudi, this formation will break by itself. There must be some kind of power controlling these ghost warriors on Nangong Wudi. Just kill him, and it will be over. However, the distance was too far. The combined attack skill, Ice and Fire Nine Heavens, could not be killed. He needed to push forward, rush to Nangong Wudi's side. Only then would he be able to combine his attacks. Even if it could not kill Nangong Wudi, it could heavily injure him. If he was injured, the array formations would definitely be affected. Xiao Bai asked, then why don't we follow you? We can at least block the attack for you. Yes, Brother Xiao Bai is right. Master, let us help you open up a path. If we can't kill them, we have thick skin, we can still resist. The attacks of these ghost warriors were extremely strong. Their physical body defense were much stronger than Long Fei's, so they could act like titans. However, in Long Fei's heart, Xiao Bai and Bing Hua were his brothers. Even if he were to go and defend himself, he wouldn't let the two of them take all the damage for him. Then again, Long Fei was not afraid of these ghost warriors at all. Long Fei slightly smiled and said, you don't have to worry if I can't take it. It won't be too late for you all to come out. These ghost warriors are completely useless to me. While they were talking, Long Fei's heart trembled. The idea moved. Sky Tyrant armor out. Buzz. The divine armor of the Sky Tyrant Profound Realm appeared on Long Fei's body. It was pitch black with all kinds of ancient runes carved on it. It flickered with black light, emitted black flames, and looked extremely domineering. Overlord Godwing, out! Boom, boom. 2 giant black wings appeared, just like those props in the game. They were incomparably gorgeous, pitch black, like the scales of a black dragon. Sky Tyrant boots. Come out! Boom, boom. 2 black battle boots appeared under Long Fei's feet. Sky Tyrant sword, attack. Long Fei summoned out the Sky Tyrant sword, a 2-meter-long gigantic sword. Its entire body was black, and its inscriptions covered the entire body of the sword. As the sword came out, the sword energy immediately swept out. It was also at this moment. Ding! Congratulations to the player, Long Fei, for coming into contact with Tyrant Sky Set effect. You have gained 100% defense and 100% attack. A set of holy artifact. Nangong Wudi was immediately dumbfounded. Was this person even human? Even after all these years, the Nangong family did not have a single decent holy artifact. He got the set straight away. The dragon salyer was a holy artifact. 2 divine beasts, countless divine rank cultivation techniques. Why was there such a huge disparity between the two of them? The Nangong family had done this for so many years, yet they only managed to cause half of their dragon salyer to die in front of the holy artifact. But this Long Fei fella, it was simply too deadly. Chapter 9, 8_19/2356530. Competing with a person would sometimes truly compare to a dead person. Competing with a person would sometimes truly compare to a dead person. When you think you have a good, holy artifact, other people's holy artifact have piled up like a mountain. From the moment the dragon Salyer appeared in the Long family's residence, the Nangong imperial clan wanted to obtain it. When they were happy that the Long family had lost their supreme artifact, who would have thought that Long Fei already had a divine level set? Nangong Wudi was so angry that he almost vomited blood. This was nothing. Just as the Sky Tyrant armor was all revealed, Long Fei's eyebrows twitched, and he shouted, "Thunderclock, get out!" Boom! The thunderclock that exploded from Nangong Lai's body also appeared on Long Fei's body. The shadow of the thunderclock covered Long Fei, and the gigantic bell continuously released dense lightning defenses. It was so sharp that it was a complete mess. He carried the dragon Salyer on his shoulder and held the Sky Tyrant sword in his hand. He wore the Sky Tyrant set and had thunderclock revolving around his head. Each and every one of them were holy artifact. Each one was incomparably sharp. The sight was dazzling. He even had thoughts of dying. Not many martial artists would be able to get an Earth-grade spirit artifact in their lifetime. But Long Fei's entire body was filled with holy artifact. Did he still want to live? "Can't you play?" Nangong Wudi was so angry that his entire body was trembling. If not for his high cultivation, he would have vomited blood. Looking at the half of the dragon Salyer in his hand, Nangong Wudi felt as if he had been humiliated. Long Zhanhai immediately ordered, "Without my order, no one is allowed to even take half a step into this temple. Long Yun, you stand guard here. Whoever dares to approach this temple will be killed without question." Long Yun immediately replied, "Yes." And then Long Zhanhai quickly ran up, because he felt a strong aura, and when he looked at the entrance of the temple, he was stupefied. He mumbled, "Father, is that Xiao Fei?" Long Sandphone was so shocked that he nearly jumped up to cheer, and said excitedly, "It's Xiao Fei, it's Xiao Fei, ha ha ha. Good boy, you have truly shocked me." The number of holy artifact he had on him right now was not even as many as he had in the entire Fire Glass dynasty. He was definitely a rich person. "Don't worry about it now. Ha ha ha." Long Sandphone grew excited, looking at Long Fei, who was inside the array, with incomparable pride. He was proud of Long Fei. Long Fei took a step forward and laughed. "Aren't your inescapable snare tactical method powerful? Come, come, come. Let's see if we can break through your father's defense." "Arrogant, incomparable arrogance," Long Fei said, as if he was pulling a 250-year-old. With a move of the sword, he pointed at Nangong Wudi's nose and cursed, "Child Nangong, come, come, come. Let your ghost warrior kill me." "Damn you, come on." Too arrogant. Facing the number 1 ranker of the Fireglass City, facing the inescapable snare-tight tactical method, Long Fei was unbridled. Nangong Wudi was so angry that smoke was coming out from his head, and he shouted angrily, "Kill him! Kill him! Kill him for me!" Immediately, with a change in inescapable snare-tight tactical method, all of them rushed towards Xiang Longfei. Long Fei frowned and thought to himself, "The distance is too far. I can't sense the true breath on Nangong Wudi's body. I need to take a few more steps forward. Kill! Kill!" Countless ghost warriors rushed towards Xiang Longfei. However, Long Fei ignored them and walked forward in large strides. The attacks of the ghost warriors were like ice and fire, completely useless against them. Immunity! All our thunderclock could not defend against it, and the Sky Tyrant armor could easily defend itself. This was the power of a divine-level spiritual treasure. His defense was extremely high. These ghost warriors were completely useless. Long Fei laughed arrogantly. "Nangong punk, what kind of bullsh *T inescapable snare tight tactical method? Is it only this kind of power?" "It's not as powerful as my scratching. Even if I beg you, can you make them use a little more strength? At least give me an itch. Ha ha ha. Long Fei walked forward step by step, wanting to enrage Nangong Wudi. He wanted to feel the flow of the true breath on Nangong Wudi's body. He wanted to know whether or not Nangong Wudi was controlling these ghost warriors again, and whether or not he was the eye of the formation. And then again, he wanted to shrink his distance to a point where it locked onto him, the distance at which the Ice and Fire Nine Heavens was released. Nangong Wudi was so angry that his entire body was trembling, looking at Long Fei's wild laughter. He wanted to personally go and tear him apart. Too weak, a bit stronger. Child Nangong, is this the trump card of your Nangong Imperial clan? I think it's just a bunch of trash. Long Fei walked forward step by step. Although no ghost warrior had broken through his defense, this did not mean that he could quickly rush to Nangong Wudi's side, as if he were walking down a main road. Furthermore, when those attacks landed on his body, although he didn't receive any damage, he could feel them with his own body. Master, another 100 meters. Ice and Fire continued to calculate the distance between them. Long Fei secretly thought, 100 meters, right? He took a big step forward. There are still 99 meters left. Nangong Wudi, just wait for me to send you to the west. Over 3,000 ghost warriors continued to attack. The power of the formation continued to rise, but it was completely useless. It did not harm Long Fei at all. Long Sanfeng and Long Zhanhai were both dumbfounded. So breaking the array can actually do something like this? Good boy. Ha ha ha. The two of them laughed with incomparable joy. Lunatic Long also laughed loudly. Old Thief Nangong, isn't the inescapable snare tactical method awesome? Why did it become like this now? How could this be called breaking through a formation? This was called ignoring this formation. Nangong Wudi angrily clenched his teeth. His divine level set was unable to break through the defense of the heavens, but instead of rushing toward Xiang Longfei with anger, he said with a cold laugh, Longfei, even if your defense is peerless, you are still unable to break through this formation. You want to get close to me, want to fight with that dragon, and shoot out beams of light to kill me? Ha ha ha. Nangong Wudi laughed wildly. Long Fei frowned. Has he been seen through? At this moment, Long Fei took a step forward, his heart stirred, and he shouted, Ice and Fire, prepare to attack. The Ice-Fire dragon's heart tightened as it said, Master, there is still 0.5 meter left. One more step, and you will be finished. Long Fei lifted his leg again. Also at this moment, the idea moved, sensing the true breath's fluctuations on Nangong Wudi's body. And in the instant that Long Fei lifted his leg, Nangong Wudi roared fiercely, Charge out for him! As soon as he finished, the ghost warrior suddenly gathered in a row as a strong wave of energy shot out horizontally and directly slashed at Long Fei's chest, without causing him the slightest bit of harm. However, yet Long Fei actually put it back. 500 meters away, Long Fei once again returned to the starting point. What should he do? He wasn't a match at all. This week still had 3 days left. Hai Yang would still work hard to ensure that every day was updated with every 10 chapters. Hai Yang was desperately writing her code word. Brothers, if you have a monthly ticket, then I'll be extremely grateful to you. 8_8419/2356531. It was seen through. It was seen through. The distance was calculated. Long Fei didn't know. How could he be seen through when he had only released one fire and ice in Fireglass City? Not seeing through, but seeing through Nangong Wudi's cultivation. He could feel the change in the dangerous aura. And the moment Long Fei took a step forward, he felt it. This was a powerful expert. He could sense any change, even the slightest change, in his aura. Nangong Woody laughed proudly. How is it? Little bastard, it's better if you return to your original location. The inescapable snare-tight tactical method indeed can't do anything to you, but you can't break the array, much less get close to me. Any holy artifact will need the support of the true breath. I do not believe that the true breath in your body can allow you to live for 3 days or 3 nights. You are merely a trash at the early stage of the war chief. Even consuming you consumes all of my energy. Ha ha ha. Indeed, just as Nangong Woody had said, he could not break this array. Not to mention 3 days and 3 nights. He couldn't even hold on for a single day. I don't believe it. Long Fei rushed out once again, thinking, ice and fire recalculate the distance. Bing was said, yes, master. Long Fei quickly rushed out, his teleportation coupled with the movement speed of the Sky Tyrant boots. He increased his speed to its limit, and he moved 100 meters in a single step. However, the stronger he was, the more powerful the inescapable snare tactical method art became. Master, 5 more meters. Not waiting for him to finish, Nangong Woody sneered. Go back. Boom. The formation changed, and a powerful force once again pushed him back to his original spot. Another failure. F***CK. Again. Long Fei rushed over like crazy again. Nangong Woody laughed complacently. Ha ha ha. No matter how many times you try, it's useless. Little bastard. Even your ancestors, the Draconic Slaughter, were unable to break the formation, so it's even more impossible for you. He wasn't worried at all, because he did not need to worry. Long Fei was simply unable to approach him. Boom. Long Fei was knocked back once again. Once again, he returned to the original spot, sweating profusely. I really can't get close. Xiao Bai said. Master, I will open up a path for you. Brother Xiao Bai, just leave it to me. Aren't they just some spiritual body warriors? I can't hurt them. I can't take their attacks. Bing Hui disdainfully said. It wasn't that they weren't strong, but that even if they could withstand these attacks, they would still be knocked back. The strength of the formation wasn't just any ordinary strength. Formations relied on the use of the formation's eye. If one could not break the formation, they would be unable to leave, just like the boundary. If one did not break through the formation, they would not be able to leave. Little bastard, come again. They're charging up again. Why aren't they coming? Nangong Woody said proudly. Nangong Woody was very proud. He was exceptionally pleased with himself. Moreover, in the moment he laughed madly, his gaze turned sinister as he locked onto Long Sanfeng. Killing intent surged from his body as he said, You're not going to rush ahead, are you? Now it's my turn. Just now, you killed my son and my grandson. Now I want you to watch your grandfather die before you. As soon as he finished, Nangong Woody unleashed the power of the Peak War Master from his body, and with a thought, it directly landed at the entrance of the Tai Temple. He stared at Long Sanfeng and sneered, Lunatic Long, go and die. Boom. Both of his palms shook, and the power of Peak War Master roared out, directly striking towards Long Sanfeng. Too fast, too fierce. Long Sanfeng's face turned sinister. He did not dodge at all, and went straight ahead. Dragon Break, 8 Dragon Fury. Roar. A draconic roar was released from his body, and his entire body was covered with draconic scales. The 4 palms collided, causing a violent blast of force to wreak havoc. Sounds of explosions could be heard. Sand and stones were flying everywhere, and the thick blue stone floor tiles around the 2 of them were continuously flying up, turning into dust. Long Zhanhai was simply incapable of getting close to it, and was directly sent flying by the force of the impact. Bam! Nangong Woody took a few steps back. Long Sanfeng also retreated a few steps, spitting out a mouthful of blood. He bellowed, F***CK, come again! Swish! With a burst of strength, all of the clothes on Long Sanfeng's upper body were torn apart, and his entire upper body was covered in dense dragon scales, looking extremely ferocious. It was like turning into a dragon. However, in the Long family, this was only the first and lowest stage of dragon forming. There was still a long way to go before it could transform into a dragon. Nangong Woody scoffed. Seems like you have used the blood of that huge dragon to raise your dragon blood activation. However, so what? You must die today. Long Sanfeng did not waste any time with him. With a move of her palms, she released all the power in her body. What are you talking about? Come if you dare. Without waiting for Nangong Woody to attack, he rushed out, just like how he had crushed Nangong Woody. You know, his current cultivation was just too far off from Nangong Woody's. However, he was Long Sanfeng, and even more so, he was Dragon Madman, Battle Maniac. He had never admitted defeat. Facing the continuous challenge from the three pillars, he did not even bat an eyelid. How could he be afraid of Nangong Woody now? I'm afraid. You've lost. Lunatic Long's fists collided with his. Bam! Rumble. The earth shook, and the mountains shook. Lunatic Long was sent flying, and he spat out another mouthful of blood. However, he didn't stop and slapped the ground with his palm. F***CK, come again. Whoosh! His body was like a raging dragon as it rolled out. He once again rushed towards Nangong Woody. Nangong Woody's body was also in turmoil. The true breath was wreaking havoc in a somewhat unbearable state. Long Sanfeng seemed to be at the second level of the War Master, but because of the Long family's blood lineage, his cultivation was even stronger than the fifth level of the War Master. However, this did not mean that he was an opponent for Nangong Woody. Seeing Long Sanfeng rush towards him, Nangong Woody's body sank as he shouted, Lunatic Long, let's see how many more times you can go berserk. Crack! Nangong Woody's palms released a ray of bloodlight. Long Zhanhai immediately shouted out, Father, be careful! Long Fei also shouted loudly from within the formation, Grandfather! The Dragon Madman did not care about all that. When the blood lineage's power was released, the shadow was like a dragon, going up with slay, 8 dragons rage. Roar! Roar! When he cultivated the dragon break to its perfect state, 8 dragon spirit shadow-s continuously flew out from his palm and pounced towards Nangong Woody. Nangong Woody also laughed coldly. The sea of blood is boundless. Die for me! Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh! Asterisk as the blood mist dispersed, Nangong Woody pushed with his palms, and the surging force of the sea of blood collided with each other. Floating life. Table of contents. No windows. A++, boom. The moment the 4 palms collided, the sky darkened and the earth darkened. It was as if the world was coming to an end. Chapter 1. Table of contents. Thank you so much, Cultivation Fruit. Love around the corner, Zhan Tian. Mr. Jiang, Yichin, Grandpa squats in the streets and plays with little girls, football little Jiang, reading books all over the world. And even more, the sky demon is pitiful. Yichin, the bookworm, enters the sea. Lin Chen, great master, purple-blooded berserk dragon. Happiness like blooming flowers, summer ice. Ha 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 ha. Time, drug addict. Asterisk, Mr. Horse, Xiao Guang, Long Fei, the fierce wind. Yen will definitely support you. My brothers, thank you for your strong support. 8_8419/2356532. Lunatic Long never knew fear. Lunatic Long never knew fear. He was a madman, battling madman. Once a fight broke out, He would put his life on the line. However, his cultivation was, after all, only at the second level of the War Master. Even if they had dragon bloodline blood lineage, they still wouldn't be able to make up for such a large gap. Nangong Wudi was forced to retreat and hit the wall again and again. He spat out a mouthful of blood, his face turning pale white. However, Long Sanfeng's injuries were worse as he fell from the sky and crashed onto the ground. He spat out a mouthful of black blood and laid on the ground, unable to get up for a moment. His internal organs were all churning. Every inch of his muscles looked as if they were about to tear apart. The impact of the blood palm caused the blood vessels in his body to become abnormally unstable, and they almost burst out of his body, making him feel extremely uncomfortable. Damn it, Nangong Wudi cursed. He's really crazy, but today is the day you die. Nangong Wudi moved and rushed towards Long Sanfeng. This time, he definitely wouldn't let Lunatic Long off. The people of the Long family were all too scary. They were existences that did not care for their lives. Long Sanfeng crawled up from the ground with much difficulty, gritted his teeth, and said savagely, again, still no fear. He was as arrogant as ever. This was the nature of the Long family. Nangong Wudi laughed disdainfully. Lunatic Long, go to hell. With a move, he flew into the air and struck out with his palm towards the skull of the dragon madman. With this strike, Long Sanfeng was dead for sure. Father! Long Zhanhai roared thunderously as he flew out and used his body to block the attack. Bam! Long Zhanhai was smashed down, smashing onto the ground. The ground started to crack and started to spew out blood. Uncle! Long Fei was incredibly anxious and constantly rushing forward, but this formation was useless no matter how hard he tried. He was completely unable to break it. Nangong Wudi smashed his fist against Long Sanfeng's body, also sending him flying, and the two of them crashed together. Nangong Wudi was really too strong. His cultivation could completely suppress Long Sanfeng. It was difficult to make up for the difference in their cultivation levels. Nangong Wudi walked towards Long Sanfeng step by step, stared at him, and coldly laughed. Do you want to save your grandfather? Kneel down and beg me. Ha ha ha. You made me feel the pain of losing my son, the pain of losing my grandson. And now I want you to personally see your grandfather, your uncle dying in front of you. And I will use the cruelest method possible to kill the two of them little by little. Long Fei, slowly enjoy yourself. Ha ha ha. Nangong Wudi was extremely pleased with himself. Long Fei clenched his fists so hard that his joints popped out. Nangong Wudi, I'll fuck your ancestors. Nangong Wudi laughed. Are you angry? As he spoke, Nangong Wudi stepped onto Long Zhanhai's body, grabbed his head, and pulled fiercely, pulling Long Zhanwu's head up to look at Long Fei, saying, Long Zhanhai, have you seen your nephew? Ha ha ha. Long Fei, is this great? Ha ha ha. He laughed maniacally. Long Fei's nails dug into the flesh of the trap as fresh blood dripped down. Although he tried to break through the trap with all his might, he was unable to do so. Long Sanfeng said solemnly, Xiao Fei, break the formation first. Finished. Long Sanfeng's body shot out. He fiercely rushed forward, once again releasing all of his power, attacking Nangong Wudi. You overestimate yourself. Nangong Wudi laughed disdainfully. Lunatic Long, you're too weak. Get down. His right hand moved, and without waiting for Long Sanfeng's attack to fall, he smashed his fist down. Boom. Long Sanfeng was slammed into the ground heavily. Fresh blood wildly sprayed as Long Sanfeng shouted once again, Xiao Fei, you have to believe in yourself. You have broken the dragon-locked tactical method, and you can also break it. Ah! Long Sanfeng rushed forward again. Long Zhanhai also released his full strength. Break the formation. Break the formation. What should I do to break the array? Seeing his grandfather and uncle continuously being crushed by Nangong Wudi, it was truly hard for Long Fei to calm down. From the very beginning, he had been constantly breaking through array formations. He wanted to use his invincible defense to break through, but it was completely impossible. Before you break the formation, you must first find the formation aperture. Long Fei's mind started spinning frantically. Where is the formation aperture? Where is the formation core? It's Nangong Wudi. No, not him. This was the first time Long Fei touched the true breath on Nangong Wudi's body. The true breath on his body was completely unrelated to the inescapable snare tactical method. Thus, Nangong Wudi was not the eye of the array. He was the person who activated the array. Where was the formation core? Where is it? An array must have an eye. As long as they found it and destroyed it, they would be able to destroy the array eye. The dragon-locked tactical methods. I was for the enemy, but what about the inescapable snare-tight tactical methods? Long Fei suddenly sat cross-legged. His mind spun, his chi spreading continuously, linking these ghost warriors together. He was looking for the formation aperture. Seeing Long Fei like this, Nangong Wudi laughed coldly and said, Long Fei, what are you doing with your eyes closed? You can't bear to see your grandfather, and your uncle is going to die? Ha ha ha. You little bastard, you don't want to see it, do you? The more I want you to see, the more I want you to see. Nangong Wudi suddenly moved, summoning out the half of the dragon Salyer. With a cold laugh, he said, Supreme Dragon of the Long family, Patriarch died on the supreme artifact, S of the Long family. This must be very interesting. Ha ha ha. Little bastard, don't you want to take a look? Finished. Nangong Wudi placed the dragon Salyer on top of Long Zhanhai's neck and said while grinning, Little bastard, open your eyes. This is the last time you see Long Zhanhai. It's your grandfather's turn right now, so it's you who's last. The moment he made his move, Long Fei opened his eyes. Nangong Wudi immediately laughed out loud and said, That's right. Open your eyes and look. What a wonderful thing. Long Fei stood up. Xiao Bai, ice fire. Boom, boom. Two divine beasts came out of War Pet space. The might of a divine beast was incomparable, and its two angry eyes made people feel a chill in their hearts. The two of them were also extremely furious, and wished that they could tear Nangong Wudi into shreds. Screech! These two god beasts! I'm so scared! Nangong Wudi said excitedly. His tone changed as he bellowed, Little bastard! Come out, and let your divine beast bite me! Laughter. He laughed maniacally. Incomparable arrogance. Also at this time, Long Fei's gaze turned sinister as he stared coldly at Nangong Wudi and said, Nangong Wudi, open your dog eyes wide and look carefully. Me, Long Fei, you want to screw over your Nangong family's ancestral grave. In the second chapter, I recommend a book called Desolate God's Seat. The author listens and welcomes all support. 8_8419/2356533. As soon as he finished, Xiao Bai and the ice fire dragon suddenly shook. Rumble! 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 Divine beasts were infuriated. They were unstoppable, and the entire square of the great temple was shaking as the ground cracked. All the ghost warrior began to tremble. Nangong Wudi frowned, then suddenly rushed forward a few steps. Little bastard, what are you trying to do? Beneath the grand temple was the memorial tablet of the ancestors of the Nangong imperial clan. Furthermore, the anger in his heart reached its peak at this moment, as he insulted the Tai temple, causing his ancestors to be unable to calm down, which was even more infuriating than killing Nagong Ao just now. Long Fei sneered. "What are you doing?" "To F ** K up your ancestors' graves." "Shao, by ice fire." "Yes, sir." The two divine beasts once more trembled violently. Rumble, rumble. The earth began to shake crazily, and the ground started to crack, causing the entire temple to shake. Nangong Woody looked as though he was going crazy. He gnashed his teeth so hard that they were about to shatter. His eyes turned bloodshot as he roared in anger, "Little bastard, you dare!" Anger was burning. The aura on Nangong Woody's body surged continuously, and the shattered stones beneath his feet started to roll. Long Fei grinned and said, "Nangong Woody, did you enjoy it?" "Ha ha ha. Shock him to death. I'm going to tear his ancestral grave apart." Long Fei laughed excitedly. The ground continued to crack. Suddenly, with a boom, the great temple collapsed, turning into a pile of rubble. The rankings within the great temple were also shattered. Nangong Woody was about to go crazy from anger. His eyes were about to spit fire. "Ah, ah, ah. Long Fei, you little bastard. I will kill you. I will kill you." He was utterly enraged. He roared loudly, "Kill him." The ghost warrior continued to tremble as the power of the formation began to stir. Those ghost warrior were also not under his command. The space between Nangong Woody's brows tightened again as he thought in his heart, "Impossible, impossible, absolutely impossible." Long Fei's right arm condensed for 3 minutes. Looking at Nangong Woody's angered expression, he sneered, "The inescapable snare-tight tactical methods formation. I is right below us. If I'm not wrong, this should be the Nangong Imperial Clan's dragon fountain." As soon as he finished, Long Fei's right fist shook as he punched the ground. "Magic power of right hand, open for me." Nangong Woody roared, "Don't. Rumble, rumble." Long Fei's fist shook and shattered. The ground caved in, following that blue stone tiles fell down, and the ghost warrior were also trembling crazily, as though they couldn't hold on much longer. "No, no, no," Nangong Woody said, as his eyes glazed over. Looking at the square of the great temple, which had sunk down, he roared continuously, "No, impossible. No one knows where the eye of the inescapable snare-tight tactical methods formation is. No one knows. It's impossible for you to know about this." Even himself, he also didn't know where the core of the formation was. The ancestor of the Nangong Imperial Clan used the evil methods of the blood refinement sect to separate these souls and then set them up in the square of the Supreme Temple. Other than the Emperor, no one from the Nangong family knew, because he knew that the less people who knew about the array core, the better. If he died, no one would ever know. As long as the Nangong Imperial Clan knew where the mechanism to activate the array core was, no one would be able to keep the array core secret. Just like the Long family's dragon-locked tactical method. Other than the person who created the formation, no one else knew where the core was. Long Fei was the same. The sky was not good enough for him to charge out, and the Grand Temple was not the eye of the spell formation. There was only one possibility. At the bottom of this square, after Xiao Bai and the fire and ice were shaken, the ghost warrior-s trembled. Their chaotic flow of energy also proved that his conjecture was correct. Long Fei punched out. The Taimian Plaza caved in. Those ghost warrior-s did not disappear immediately. Long Fei took a step forward and charged into the secret room. A gigantic dragon was carved in gold and occupied the entire room. A gigantic dragon was staring at Long Fei with its vivid and lifelike eyes. There were 2 tablets on the dragon's head. One of them was the ancestor of the Nangong Imperial Clan, Nangong Haotian. The other was engraved on the tablet, Nangong Yao Hai, formation aperture. A dragon's vein is the core of a formation, and a dragon's head is the core of a formation. Nangong Yao Hai, you are truly smart. Long Fei slowly walked forward and stared at the two tablets. The tablet, dragon-suppressing orb. Did this mean he was suppressing the Long family? You all were afraid of the Long family from the beginning. Nangong Haotian, you never thought of this. If it weren't for the bullying of the Long family by you all these years, your Nangong imperial clan would still be able to enjoy prosperity for the next 10,000 years. But now, Long Fei took out the dragon Salyer. Nangong Yao Hai's memorial tablet was instantly knocked over. It was also at this moment Long Fei clenched both his hands, causing the bloodlight on the dragon Salyer to churn. The great desolate mountain demon king and the divine tiger roared, and with a move, he slashed down. Die? Nangong Wudi rushed to the entrance of the cave and shouted, "Little bastard, you dare!" Not waiting for him to finish, the dragon Salyer in Long Fei's hand had already slashed down. The blade landed on the dragon head. Rumble! 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 The dragon head fell down and even crushed Nangong Haotian and Nangong Yao Hai's tablets. With a single slash, the inescapable snare-tight tactical method was destroyed. The entire Fireglass City was trembling violently. At this moment, Emperor Star in the night sky had fallen. At the same time, a shooting star fell, and a new Emperor Star was born. At this moment, ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for slaying Heaven's Net Ghost Killing Formation. You have obtained experience points, True Breath point, credit point. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the 3,800 Ghost Warrior S of the Heaven's Net Ghost Absolute Killing Formation. Do you want to release them? Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for consecutively leveling up to level 8, currently at level 8 yellow rank. The inescapable snare tactical method was a boss. It shone with a golden light from the very beginning. Long Fei was puzzled. Why was there a boss level in the array? From the looks of it, the formation exploded. Moreover, they were the 3,800 Ghost Warrior S in the Imperial Nets array. They were simply invincible existences. Even Xiao Bai's and the giant dragon's attacks were useless. However, the system had even prompted him whether he was released. This, Long Fei's heart tightened, but he did not immediately reply. Let us go. I beg of you, please let us go. Our souls have been suffering for thousands of years. Please let us go. We were wrong about your ancestors in the Long family. We repented, and we will never do it again. Table of contents. I'm begging you, let us into the underworld. He kept begging. Release or not release. Chapter 3. 8_8419/2356534. Clearly, these souls had been suppressed for thousands of years. Each and every one of them had accumulated resentment in their hearts, resentment toward the Nangong imperial clan. They yearned for reincarnation. He desired to take off his body and merge his soul into the underworld. None of this had anything to do with Long Fei. Release or not release, this was indeed a problem. If it could not be released, the system would definitely not prompt him to release it. What would happen after it? What would he get? Or could it be? Nothing. This was a gamble. Long Fei could not control it well. After all, there were 3,800 Ghost Warrior S here, and it was even inescapable snare tight tactical method. Once they were controlled to level up by killing demon beasts in the mountains, wouldn't that be as fast as a skyrocketing rocket? Honestly, When Long Fei revealed the ghost warrior, his heart began to boil. And from the start, he had never thought of releasing it. These were all upgrade machines, so releasing them would be a huge loss. However, the system prompt had him at a loss. Humph! Long Fei took in a deep breath, unable to make a choice. It was also at this time. Rumble! 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 In the air, Nangong Wudi roared, "Little bastard, come out and accept your death." F***CK. Long Fei's heart trembled, and he said, "I almost forgot about this boss." Ice and fire! The ice-fire dragon was enraged. Understood. With a leap, the ice-fire dragon's wings flapped, and it immediately charged out of the ruins, flying into the air. There was a series of explosive sounds from its throat. Dragon's flames sprayed out. The center of Nangong Wudi's brows shook, and an aura of the peak of the War Master was released from his body. It was also at this time. Xiaobai roared. Roar! The illusory image of the wolf god dispersed into the sky as a heavenly wolf descended from the skies and pounced towards Nangong Wudi. Serious domination. Nangong Wudi was almost unable to endure it. Faced with the attacks of two mighty divine beasts, he was knocked flying backwards. Nangong Wudi's face was a mess, and he was sent flying. His robes made an explosive noise as he was forced to the point of extreme discomfort. Adding the anger in his heart, he summoned his dragon Salyer and coldly said, "You must be a divine beast, right? Kill." When the gigantic War Master was added onto the dragon Salyer, in that instant, the aura on the dragon Salyer changed instantly as Nangong Wudi fiercely slashed at it. Kill! Boom! The dragon Salyer cried out in mid-air. Dense blade, aura burst out. One blade cut off the head of the Sky Wolf. The image of the Sky Wolf immediately disappeared. It was incomparably powerful. The dragon Salyer continued to emit a brutal aura. Dragon Salyer-s were ferocious soldiers. They were main killers. To it, killing was its fate. It was very clear that Nangong Wudi had a better understanding of Dragon Salyer than Long Fei, and in his entire life, he had spent almost 100 years researching Dragon Salyer. He knew how to unleash the power of a Dragon Salyer. At the same time, he also knew how the Long family's ancestor used the Dragon Salyer. The might of the supreme artifact was unparalleled. Long Fei was shocked. What a strong blade aura! He was unable to unleash such a strong saber chi. Nangong Wudi laughed sinisterly and said, "This is the true power of slaying a dragon. Long Fei, you little bastard, who do you think you are? In your hands, Dragon Salyer is a waste. You are simply unable to unleash even 1,000th of its power. In the past, your ancestor used it to kill the dragon god. How domineering was it? How intrepid was it to be able to kill the dragon god? Its power is incomparable. But what about you? How much power can you release? Ha ha ha. Tremble under my dragon Salyer." Nangong Wudi destroyed the sword in one slash from the flames of ice and fire. The power of the dragon Salyer in his hands was indeed shockingly terrifying. Long Fei couldn't do it. He had obtained the dragon Salyer less than a year ago, so his understanding of it wasn't enough. Moreover, the stronger you are, the stronger the dragon Salyer will be. The more fearless you are, the more ferocious the dragon Salyer become. It was kill. The supreme artifact. Kill. Enough distance. The ice-fire dragon suddenly warned and said, "Master!" Ding! Target locked. Long Fei's forehead turned sinister, and he shouted, "Release the combined attack." With their souls linked, the idea became one. Thick clouds appeared in the sky. The clouds continuously rotated. 9-story heaven appeared. The first floor suddenly shook, and a laser light was released. Ice and fire, 9 heavens, kill. As long as one touched it, it could be killed instantly. Shwa! The might of the ice and fire, 9 heavens, was like the descent of a heavenly power striking towards the center of Nangong Woody's brows. Nangong Woody raised his eyes, his expression extremely sinister. The dragon's salyer cut his palm, and all the blood that flowed out was absorbed by the dragon's salyer. It was also at this time the dragon salyer's entire body flashed with a bloody light and became extremely fierce. Facing the first level of the rankings, he stepped forward and grinned excitedly. Explode. Let the lowly descendants of the Long family see your strength. Ha ha ha. You are invincible. Rumble. The light beam shot down and struck the dragon salyer's body. The blood light on the dragon salyer's body became stronger and stronger. The combined attack simply could not penetrate it. Nangong Woody was also trembling intensely. His entire body was unable to withstand it. His body smashed into the ground from midair. He was in an extremely sorry state. However, Long Fei's heart sank. Not even a little bit of blood has been lost. The combined attack of the ice and fire, 9 heavens, did not cause him the slightest bit of damage. Long Fei was incomparably shocked, and what was shocked was not just how powerful Nangong Woody was. He was shocked by the other half of the dragon salyer. It could actually resist the power that could instantly kill anything under the War Emperor. It was really too strong. The clouds slowly dissipated. The power of the beam was also weakened. Nangong Woody's bent waist slowly stood up and started laughing maniacally with a dark and heavy tone. Can't kill me? Ha ha ha. Little bastard, you're too weak. This is your strongest move, right? Ha ha ha. If a half of a dragon salyer can possess such power, then the dragon salyer in your hands. It's also mine. Ha ha ha. Nangong Woody was crazy. His expression was savage beyond compare. His eyes were bloodshot, as if he had been possessed. The dragon salyer in his hands trembled even more violently. His heart was about to be controlled by the other half of the dragon salyer. Long Fei laughed coldly and said, Nangong Woody, do you think that I have no way of dealing with you? Nangong Woody pointed his dragon salyer at Long Fei and said disdainfully, the trash of the war chief realm, the trash of the giant dragons, the trash of the white wolf. So what if you have these holy artifacts? You don't even know how to release their powers. Only I am able to activate all of their powers. Chapter 48_8419/2356535. You have no cards left. You have no cards left. What qualifications do you have to fight me? You, your uncle, your grandfather, all the Long army outside the great temple will all die. Ah! Nangong Woody roared, his 2 eyes turning blood red. He was completely bewitched, his mind also being occupied by the dragon salyer. Enchanted, Nangong Woody's mind was being controlled by half of the dragon salyer. He had complete control of it. The killing intent of the dragon salyer exploded. Vicious weapon. Even the upper half of the dragon salyer, in Long Fei's hands, was trembling. Nangong Woody took a step forward. The bloody glow on his body soared into the sky, bringing along a series of thick, bloody demon mirages as he charged towards Xiang Long Fei. Long Fei, be careful! Xiao Fei, Long Zhanhai, and Long Sanfeng gasped on the ground. Long Fei grinned coldly and said, Do you think I have no way of dealing with you? Nangong Woody laughed in disdain. What else do you have? You have nothing left. Just die. It was also at this time the weakened ice and fire said solemnly, Master, I can still unleash another combined attack and blast him with a cannon. I don't believe that I can't blast him to death. The first release of the Ice and Fire 9 Heavens was the limit of the current state of ice and fire. If he were to release it again, he would only overdraw his HP. This would definitely hinder his cultivation level in the future, and he might even be able to stay in the 5th stage forever. Xiao Bai's body suddenly changed. Immediately becoming more than 2 meters tall, the divine beast qi on his body became extremely fierce, and he shouted, "This daddy is really not happy. I want to kill him." Long Fei pulled Xiao Bai back and said, "All of you, return to my war pet space." Xiao Bai still had not used his ultimate move. However, this powerful skill also consumed his profound qi. Just like how Long Sanfeng had forcefully released his War Master Qi, the consumption of his profound Qi would cause his body to be severely injured, and his cultivation would forever stay at that level. Long Fei didn't want to see them like this. Moreover, they're just cubs. Xiao Bai was still only at the 3rd level, Ice and Fire 5th level, simply too low. If he were to grow to the maximum level, a mere peak war master could be killed in an instant with a single breath. Their future was limitless. They could not afford to let them go to waste at a time like this. "Master, we can still carry them." The 2 divine beasts were not happy with Nangong Wudi. Long Fei did not allow them to resist and shouted, "Go back! Do you want me to do it myself?" Without waiting for their response, Long Fei moved and immediately controlled their idea, summoning them back to the war pet space. Long Fei's idea moved and said to the ghost warrior who were still wailing nonstop, "Didn't you want me to let you guys go? Aren't you people from the Nangong Imperial clan? Now kill him. I will let you leave this place." As soon as his voice faded, all of the ghost warrior-s rushed out, and the gigantic, inescapable snare-tight tactical method was instantly set up. It was also at this time that a wave of energy dragged Long Fei out. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. The inescapable snare-tight tactical method was activated, confining Nangong Wudi in an array. Nangong Wudi was instantly stopped. Looking at the surrounding ghost warrior, he fiercely shouted, "You damned vengeful spirits, do you want a rebel? You are just the Nangong family slaves. Get lost!" Long Fei shouted from afar, "Kill! Kill! Kill!" 3,800 ghost warrior-s started to move, unleashing a crazy pressure on Nangong Wudi, crazily killing him. Nangong Wudi was simply unable to resist. At this time, his dragon salure also lost its effect. This was because these ghost warrior were all spirit bodies and could not be killed. All attacks were immune. Even a dragon salure that had been possessed wouldn't have any use. Long Fei quickly ran to his grandfather's side, gave them a few seconds of healing pills, and asked, "Grandfather, are you guys okay?" Lunatic Long stood up slightly, looked at Nangong Wudi, who was inside the array, and said, "Xiao Fei, why did these ghosts stop you from ordering them?" Long Zhanhai also said, "These people were once guards of the Nangong family. They only listened to the orders of the Nangong family. Why would they stop you now?" Long Fei said, "Just now when I broke through the array, these ghosts all listened to me." Ha ha! Long Sanfeng immediately laughed out loud, looking at Nangong Wudi, who was hiding in the east and west. "Old thief Nangong, why are you being so arrogant again? Isn't it great to die in the midst of a formation set up by one's own ancestors?" Ha ha ha! Long Zhanhai also laughed out loud and said, "Nangong Wudi, do you feel good now?" Awkward. It was extremely embarrassing. Even if he was Nangong Wudi, even if he was the War Master, he still had no power to resist the inescapable snare-tight tactical method. Furthermore, this was a formation set up by the Ghost Warrior, so there was no way to resist it. He had initially watched Long Fei struggle through the array, but now it was his turn. The array core was an underground dragon vein, but where was the array core now? I don't know. Nangong Wudi's entire body was riddled with scars, and bright red numbers continuously floated up above his head. He had to say it. The inescapable snare tactical method formed from these ghost warriors are just too strong. They were completely unrivaled existences, and adding on their anger towards the Nangong imperial family, they were even more furious. Every single ghost warrior used their full strength, of course. As long as they knew a technique to attack with a spirit body, these ghost warrior would be killed as if they were vegetables. Long Fei was a little regretful now. Really letting them go? He was truly conflicted. Half an hour passed. The amount of blood on top of Nangong Wudi's had dropped by around the 100,000 points S. The 3 million HP is about to be depleted. Long Fei's gaze tightened as he summoned Xiaobai and said, "Take grandfather and uncle out." "Grandpa, uncle, you two leave first." Long Fei was still a little worried. After all, he was a peak war master ranker, the strongest in the Fireglass dynasty. Even the last drop of blood could not be left unnoticed. Long Sanfeng glanced at Long Fei and said, "Xiao Fei, be careful." Long Zhanhai wanted to stay, but he was glared at by Long Sanfeng. Long Sanfeng knew clearly in his heart that Long Fei did not want them to take the risk. Long Fei also had his own secrets. There must be a secret. It was a secret that only belonged to Long Fei. Long Fei moved and said to Xiaobai, "Bring grandfather and uncle back to the Long family." Xiaobai said heavily, "Master, you must be careful." After watching them leave, Long Fei moved and said, "All of you retreat. Now it's my turn." 3,800 ghost warrior as quickly retreated to the side, prepared to fight at any time. Long Fei slowly walked up, and looking at the extremely miserable Nangong Wudi, he smiled. "Nangong Wudi, is it good?" Equals half carrot float. Hashtag life carrot. Nangong Wudi was bleeding profusely. He stared at Long Fei and bellowed, "Little bastard, I will kill you." Shua. With a sudden movement, he rushed towards Xiang Long Fei. Long Fei clenched his right hand, and the dragon salyer fell into his hand. The corners of his mouth slightly curled up as he coldly laughed. "Come." Chapter 5. 8_8419/2356536. Buzz. Buzz. A hum came from the dragon salyer. Boom. The blood-red blade exploded. The auras of the wild mountain devil and the divine tiger blood lineage burst out. Long Fei's eyes sunk. The idea melded into the dragon salyer. Following that, his body also flashed with the bloodlight and blade aura of the dragon salyer. One with the saber, Long Fei moved and said to the dragon salyer in his heart, "I know you can hear me, and I also know that you want to find your other half. Now, I'll give myself to you. Power, speed, technique, whatever you want. I'll give you whatever you want, but I want you to kill him in one slash." Finished. Long Fei gave up control of himself. At this moment, the 80,000 true breath values in his body instantly disappeared. At the same time, Long Fei shouted in his heart, "Whoosh Wong!" Boom, boom. After a few explosions, his energy attribute was doubled, and his true breath was ignited. The dragon salyer moved. As the blood light receded, Long Fei's figure flashed like lightning, directly slashing through the skies, and he gave a low snort. One blade flowed. Dragon slash. Roar. The raging dragon on the dragon salyer's back rose up into the sky. A real dragon was not a wyvern like the ice and fire dragon, but a divine dragon from ancient China. And then, descending from the sky, crack, the dragon salyer fell, and the dragon god entered his body. Long Fei's body also instantly passed through Nangong Wudi's body, without touching a drop of blood. He quietly stood there. At that moment, Long Fei could feel the power of the dragon salyer. The dragon salyer was made from dragon blood. Its true strength was not Dao Feng, nor was it the power to slay dragons, but the power of the dragon god. Long Fei stood there quietly and said indifferently, "The dragon salyer's power does not depend on your own strength to stimulate it, but on its own strength. It is the ruler of all these, and by letting itself be the strongest, Nangong Wudi, you are too weak." Puchi, Nangong Wudi spat out a mouthful of blood, and a scarlet number floated up the top of his head. 999 critical hit damage, with 999 HP. This was the power of the dragon god, the true might of the dragon god. It was truly the power of a dragon salyer. Nangong Wudi slowly turned around to look at Long Fei. His eyes were filled with fear as his ice-cold aura gradually filled his entire body. "No, no, impossible. I. Long Fei, you will also die soon. Just you wait. You, the blood refinement sect, won't. I won't let you go. I will definitely not." Boom. His body exploded into a cloud of bloody mist that rained down. It filled the entire Taimyan Plaza. It was also at this time that the ghost warriors started to cheer. The resentment in their hearts had finally exploded out, and one by one, they walked to Long Fei's side and knelt down, kowtowing and saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We are free." At this moment, Long Fei closed his eyes and listened quietly. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Nangong Wudi for obtaining 10 experience points, true breath point, and energy values point. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Dragon Salyer. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Flaming Yellow Chi. Do you wish to refine it? Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. The level War Chief level. In front of you is War Chief level 2. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for gathering Dragon Salyer S. You have obtained 100 experience points, 100 true breath, and 100 points as your reward. The system sounded out continuously. We're back. We're finally back. Dragon Salyer. Long Fei quietly looked at the other half of the space ring, feeling the dense evil aura from his body. No matter what, now that it was back, all he needed to do was to repair it. As long as it was repaired, the Dragon Salyer's mission would be completed. However, it was a pity that he did not have the striking energy value. Otherwise, the boss Nangong Wudi would definitely have more and better items. The striking attribute. At the same time, Long Fei took a look at the items that dropped. Item: Flaming Yellow Chi grade. Function. Description: the scorching yellow energy of the world, a strand of essence energy from the primal chaos ancient era. Description 2: the ancestor of the Nangong imperial clan, Nangong Haotian, obtained this in a mystic realm. The Nangong imperial clan was unable to refine this pill for 10,000 years. Ding! Release and refine? Long Fei didn't quite understand. As he read through it once more carefully, he muttered to himself, "Is grade and utility a question mark? What the hell is this? Is it something that even the system can't recognize? What if it is swallowed? What if it's poison gas? 10,000 my ass. Who would I be afraid of? If I don't die, I will die for tens of thousands of years." Long Fei hardened his heart and resolutely ordered, "Refine. In this lifetime, I'm afraid you will lose your entire life." There had never been a way out for martial arts training. If he didn't even have this much courage, then what the heck was he? The system sounded out. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for successfully refining the Flaming Yellow Chi. Holy SH*T. The Nangong imperial clan can't even refine it for tens of thousands of years. And I succeeded in less than a second? I must have reached the acme of perfection in my inherent skill, right? Long Fei muttered in his heart. From the moment he first saw the flaming yellow chi, he had felt that it was an incomparable force that brought with it a magical force that attracted him. Thus, only then would he disregard the danger to refine it. Actually, he wasn't confident either. What was it? Boom. Rumble. 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 A loud sound echoed out. A series of rumbling sounds came from Long Fei's pubes, followed by a continuous increase in its size. The originally tattered pubes seemed to want to tear it apart. Incomparable pain. F***CK. It's really poison. Long Fei could not help but curse in his heart as he thought to himself, I really want my life. Ignoring everything else, Long Fei swallowed a few antidote pills first. The medicinal pill entered his body. It was like a clay ox entering the sea, with no reaction at all. Long Fei took out a handful of highest-grade medicine powder and threw it into his mouth and swallowed it. It was still useless, and his true breath was rapidly decreasing. Just a moment ago, after leveling up, his true breath had already reached a total of 230,000 points when he killed Nangong Wudi. In less than 10 seconds, he only had about 10,000 points left in his true breath slot, and it was still decreasing. Too fast. It was as if over 100 god-level skills had been released at the same time, disappearing in an instant. The most crucial point. Why didn't he get it? Long Fei didn't know at all. There was no true breath. Long Fei took out the dragon spirit pellets and ignored the time spent on it. He placed the 100 into his mouth, and the true breath of these dragon spirit pills reached the second 100,000 points. However, it was still useless. Boom. 360 search. Half floating / / equals boom. Boom. The pubes S were still buzzing. Ding. Chapter 6. 8_8419/2356537. A notification sound suddenly rang out. A notification sound suddenly rang out. Long Fei prayed in his heart. Brother, it must be good news. Please don't say that the value of some true breath is not enough. In an instant, the true breaths that neared the 100,000 points were all devoured. What the heck is this? Was there anything worse than this? Long Fei was extremely regretful now. He should not have been tempted, and should not have refined the flaming yellow chi. How could he have imagined that the Nangong imperial clan would not even be able to refine the flaming yellow qi successfully for tens of thousands of years? It felt like the system had dug a hole for him to jump into. This was too darned. Ding! The thunder clock has been decomposed and swallowed. System, you mother of asterisk cur, engulfing your sister, is it easy for me to drop a holy artifact? Not only did he devour my true breath, he even devoured my holy artifact. Long Fei started to curse, but before he could finish cursing, ding! The Sky Tyrant armor has been broken down and swallowed. System, don't you have a son? If you swallow more, just F asterisk King devour it for a second time. Lousy will really fight it out with you. Long Fei shouted. It was as if he had gone mad. The surrounding ghost warrior were all at a loss as they thought. Is this bastard sick? Ding! The Overlord Godwing has been dissolved and swallowed. F asterisk CKU, you have balls. Long Fei was about to cry and said, Brother, I'm begging you, don't be like this. Really don't be like this. I only have these few good things. You've already swallowed them. How am I going to mix with you in the future? I'm begging you. Ding! The Tyrant Sky Battle Boots still had a piece of white cloth and swallowed, but he didn't have anything. Another holy artifact thought about refining the scorching yellow disappeared. Then he turned around. He was in a bad mood and sang. Who would have thought that it would actually take him if you have the guts to return to before liberation? I want to fight to the death with you. I really want to cry. I won't rest until you're dead. If he had been forcefully molested by a bunch of women, the four and they didn't even give him any money, but wanted his money instead. Was there anything more bitter than this? Can we still be friends? These things were all devoured. There were no more four pieces of equipment. The space ring was empty for acting and it was no longer. How could he go out and pick up girls in the future? It heard a burp. Ding! The tyrant, without waiting for Long has been disintegrated, and is those being devoured. War pet were not bad. Gone. They were both divine level war pet, but their levels were too low now. It hasn't even been a day. Braised meat, Long and one has sat on the ground. His eyes beating one's teeth up. His entire being was in a bad mood. Roar, lifeless. A woo. He muttered to himself. Roared. Furthermore, as the two of them swiftly entered into battle mode, system, they were incomparably stern, death, even more serious death than when fighting against Nangong Woody. He couldn't resist. What are you yelling for? Long Fei didn't even know how to resist. Two little things, not waiting for him to finish. The deep voice rang out again. Ding! The yellow spring's divine sword has been broken down. Immediately became impotent. Engulfed, he crawled to the ground, not daring to move. I've never used this netherworld sword before. He became a dead dog. What the hell was a divine beast? Long Fei looked down on them. Do the two of you still have any backbone left? Are you even divine beasts? This is truly embarrassing for a divine beast. Floating life. Table of contents. No windows? A++ Shao Bai muttered. Master, this old fellow. No. It's because the old man is too strong. We can't even compare to a single head on his body. Bing also bitterly said, that's right, they are on completely different levels. He is the heavens, and we are the earth. An insect egg under the ground. It can't even be considered an insect. How do you think we should beat it? So strong? Long Fei's heart trembled, and he shouted, Old fellow, what are you called? Chapter 7. 8_8419/2356538. Cough, cough. Long Fei almost spurted a mouthful of blood from his mouth as he forcefully held back his laughter and said, The nickname is just a fake name, as if I've never heard of you before. I just wanted to tell you, don't mention the past, whatever past, it's all just a fake name. Bring out something practical. Long Fei felt that the Yen Huang ancestor was about to take the bait, and thought to himself, after eating so many of my holy artifact, there should at least be some rewards, right? Otherwise, it would be a huge loss. Ha ha ha. Yen Huang ancestor laughed and said, Boy, you are right. If we do not mention the courage of a good man back then, I should indeed use some of my strength to show you the power of my Yen Huang ancestor. That's right. Why didn't you do this earlier? Long Fei laughed. Just as he finished, the dragon Salyer began to tremble violently and started to tremble uncontrollably. It was afraid again, extremely afraid. Long Fei was stunned. Damn, you still dare to swallow my dragon Salyer? Yen Huang ancestor laughed. Didn't you want me to take something out? This is the power of my Yen Huang ancestor. Boy, just wait and see. Whoosh! Half of the space ring disappeared. Long Fei started to curse anxiously. Old man, I'm going to fight it out with you. Chapter 9. 8_8419/2356539. The dragon god, the dragon blood, the flames in the sky, the earth, the sky, everything in the world, they were all worshipping. The impact on Long Fei's mind was too big. Looking at the dragon Salyer lying quietly within, the dragon god's furious roar, the tempering of the heavenly fire, and the scarlet color of the dragon's blood seemed to faintly flash across the sky. Long Fei trembled slightly as the idea moved. Weapon: Dragon Salyer can be leveled up. Grade: Supreme God, upgradable. Weight: 13,000 gene damage. Description: Killing a demonic weapon will deal 500% increased attack damage to evil creatures, 100% increased attack damage to dragon creatures. Additional skill: Dragon Spirit Killer. Will lead to a 100% increase in critical rate. Description 2. Unknown. To be opened. Description 3. Unknown. To be opened. Looking at the description and the attributes of the Dragon Salyer, they were several times stronger than the original Dragon Salyer. Just the weight alone was 10 times heavier than before. Long Fei moved. Ding! My wrist is not strong enough. I can't use one hand. Unable to grab it with his right hand, Long Fei looked at his wrist strength requirement and required 999 wrist strength to use. Both of his hands moved, and he shouted, "Come out!" Buzz! As the blade aura exploded, the blade aura of the Dragon Salyer in the center of Long Fei continued to release, crushing those ghost warrioress to the ground, causing them to tremble uncontrollably. Supreme Artifact's power also erupted. Long Fei could only describe this feeling with one word, as he could feel the 3 powerful energies within the Dragon Salyer: Heaven Flame, Dragon God, and Dragon Blood constantly assaulting his soul. Awesome, delightful to the extreme. The Yen Huang ancestor said solemnly, "This is only the initial stage of the Dragon Salyer's evolution. Once I let it level up to the peak realm, even the War King in this world would be able to kill it with a single slash. Kid, do I have the right to be your master now?" Hoo. Yen Huang ancestor's breathing became hurried, and he was even a little out of breath when he spoke. Even an expert of the War King realm was killed with a single slash. Isn't that an invincible existence? Long Fei sincerely admired him in his heart, and immediately said, "Master!" Yen Huang ancestor grinned and laughed. "Ha ha." His voice became weaker and weaker. "I can't take it anymore. I have to replenish my soul with the true breath. My remnant soul is too weak, kid. I will leave first. Don't call me for 3 days. As he spoke, then he would completely disappear. Long Fei was unable to sense his existence. Just now, when Yen Huang ancestor used the true breath to refine the Dragon Salyer, he had expended a large amount of profound qi. It would take time to recover. Long Fei did not disturb him either. Looking at the Dragon Salyer in his hands, he felt incomparably excited. It was also at this moment Long Fei was truly befuddled. Long Fei was truly befuddled. Damn. This is unbelievable. Long Fei's little heart could not take it anymore. This is the Dragon Salyer's secret. Too awesome. He's actually the strongest being in the Sky Martial Continent, the dragon race. Isn't this way too much? Ding. Congratulations to player. Long Fei for coming across the SSS level quest to find the dragon domain. Quest, looking for the dragon domain time. Infinite reward. 100 million experience points, 1 million true breath, 10,000 dragon and blood lineage. Damn. SSS level quest. I've played so many games and done countless quests, but I've never encountered a SSS level quest. This quest's level is truly heaven-defying. Moreover, what is a 10,000 dragon blood lineage? Long Fei was so excited that it was a complete mess. He immediately said, "Accept. I have to accept it." How cool was it to order the dragon clan around? In the entire Sky Martial Continent, who could do this? Once the mission was completed, the dragon race would be the strongest force of the Long family. Moreover, each of the Long family's disciples would have a huge dragon. They were all dragon knights. Thinking about that scene, Long Fei could not help but roar. Fuck, who else is there? Myriad dragon blood lineage? What kind of blood lineage is this? Was it a blood lineage formed from 10,000 dragon blood lineage? That was a level higher than divine dragon blood lineage. I can't take it anymore. My little heart can't take it anymore. The more Long Fei thought about it, the more excited he became. He felt like his heart was about to start beating. Hoo. Taking a deep breath, he kept the dragon salyer and said excitedly, "When that day comes when I ride the dragon and appear, won't the girls of Sky Martial Continent become crazy for me?" The scene was too beautiful to imagine. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Long Fei laughed complacently, pleased with himself. Laughed as though he was AB*. Teach. At this time, a ghost warrior asked carefully, "Little Master Long Fei, you promised us that you would release us, but now that Nangong Wudi is also dead and the great temple is also destroyed, can you let us go?" "Yeah. I beg of you, please let us go. It's been thousands of years. Our souls have been crushed for thousands of years. Let us remove them. Please." Ghost warrior knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Long Fei. Long Fei regained his senses. Seeing all of them, his eyebrows tightened. To be honest, he really did not want to let these ghost warriors go. These ghost warriors were simply just upgrading machines. He still vividly remembered the battle. Just now, Nangong Wudi was an expert of the War Master, but what about it? He was not a match at all. Their existence was just a bug. Long Fei really couldn't bear to part with them. However, when a man speaks, he means what he says. Looking at the attribute, Long Fei had an extremely excited expression. Luckily, I chose to release it. Otherwise, how would I have this holy artifact as a treasure? I was lucky enough to be able to summon the Yellow Springs Great Emperor. Does it have to be so outrageous? Immediately, Long Fei suddenly started to worry, and immediately said to the Yen Huang ancestor among the Pubies, "Ancestor, don't let me eat this. If you want the true breath, I will replenish it later, as long as you want to replenish it." The old patriarch didn't react immediately. After a long time, Yen Huang ancestor's voice sounded, "This item is not bad." It was just a simple sentence, and there was no other sound. Long Fei became even more excited. Even the Yen Huang ancestor said that the things they said were not bad, which meant that the divine seal of Styx was a very powerful thing, and there were not many things that could enter his eyes. If the tyrant god grade set was trash, then how much higher was this divine seal of Styx? Ha ha ha. Long Fei started laughing maniacally again. I really did earn big today. He felt as if he had drunk a whole box of wine. This was simply crooked. The refinement of the yellow flame energy had brought out the Yen Huang ancestor. The dragon salyer leveled up and fused, exposing the dragon salyer's peerless secret. And now he had released these ghosts to acquire a special merit, and a special reward of death-calling God seal. This was a heaven-defying stroke of luck. Long Fei's heart tightened. This is really great. The young master will definitely be fine. Jojo, don't worry. He will definitely be fine. Baidu search. Half afloat Long family. Everyone was worried about Long Fei. Pills. Dragon spirit pill. Quickly give me the dragon spirit pill. Long Fei ran into the courtyard and shouted anxiously, Ancestor, you must be all right. The 10th chapter was delivered. This week, there are 10 chapters, no script. The sea has been destroyed by you guys. I am currently rushing the draft with all my might. The snow outside is falling heavily. My hands and feet are freezing cold. It really feels terrible. Brothers, if you have a monthly ticket, please help me pass it. 8_8419/2356541. Ancestor, don't scare me like that. I was even pointing at your wealth. Become stronger and live the life of a hippo. You can't have any mishaps. When Long Fei returned to the Long family's residence, he immediately shouted, Quickly give me the dragon spirit pill. The dragon spirit pill. Ancestor, don't scare me like that. I was even pointing at your wealth. Become stronger and live the life of a hippo. You can't have any mishaps. When Long Fei returned to the Long family's residence, he immediately shouted, Quickly give me the dragon spirit pill. The dragon spirit pill. The entire Long family was shocked. Lu Feng quickly ran out with a large bottle of dragon spirit pills and said, Young Master Long, dragon spirit pills. He didn't rest the whole night as he continued to concoct dragon spirit pills. In the Long family, he worked even harder. Because Long Fei had given him freedom, given him the formula for the dragon spirit pill, and let him vent his anger, he wanted to thank Long Fei from the bottom of his heart. Long Fei grabbed the bottle of dragon spirit elixir and poured it nonstop into his mouth. Ding! True breath. Replenish 1,500 points. Ding! True breath will be reduced by 1,500 points. Ding! True breath. Replenish 1,500 points. Ding! Long Fei's true breath slot was like a bottomless pit. It could not be filled at all, and the large bottle with more than 100 dragon spirit pellets was swallowed. Only then did Yen Huang Ancestor recover a bit of his aura. Air. Yen Huang Ancestor slightly said, Brat, enough. Within 3 days, I don't need to devour your true breath anymore. 3 days, Long Fei said bitterly. You're really going to eat us all to death. It's not enough to have a Shao Bai wolf who devours spirit stones. Now, there's even a Yen Huang Ancestor. I owe you all this from my previous life. Long Fei started to complain. However, although Long Fei was complaining, he was still very excited. Let's not talk about Shao Bai. Just the fact that Yen Huang Ancestor leveling up his dragon salure was not something that a few holy artifact could do, and the additional ability Dragon Spirit Killer was even stronger than one blade stream, Dragon Slash. When the Dragon Spirit Killer came into contact with the blade's critical hit point, it could instantly kill. Big Brother Long Fei. Young Master. Bastard. The girls ran up to him, all of them looking extremely concerned. Seeing that Long Fei was all right, they all felt relieved. Long Fei laughed faintly, happiness surging in his heart, thinking to himself, This feeling is too blissful. Previously I was just an otaku, but now with so many beautiful girls by my side, what the heck is going on? I'm fine. Long Fei asked, Grandfather, Uncle, how are they? Xiaobai walked over and said they should be fine. They should be able to recover after a few days of rest. That's good. He even forgot to breathe. Ugh. Ugh. Luoshi struggled with all his might and finally broke free from Long Fei's embrace. Of course, this was something Long Fei had purposely released and laughed sinisterly. I have already planted a love imprint on you. you are now my woman, and you are and will be and will still be in your next life. Lu Luoshi gasped for breath heavily, staring at Long Fei. He was unable to say a word. Xiao Tian and Yi Zian were dumbfounded by what they saw. Isn't this too overbearing? A strong kiss. And it was towards the goddess Lu Luoshi of the Sky Sect. Wow. Lu Luoshi's breathing stopped, and so did theirs. Wow. Eldest senior sister, is this your first kiss? Xiao Tian started giggling excitedly. At the same time, there was a hint of envy in his eyes. He looked at Long Fei and said naughtily, "Stupid rogue, force a kiss on me. Let me enjoy that kind of overbearing and cold feeling." Yi Zian also came over. Lu Luoshi regained his composure, his expression somewhat cold, and said solemnly, "Junior sister apprentice, let's go." Finished. With one in each hand, they walked out of the Long family's residence. "Senior sister, let's stay. Let us stay. Eldest senior sister, I want to be forcefully kissed by him. You didn't know earlier that he was too handsome, so handsome that he fell to pieces." "Senior sister." Long Fei laughed sinisterly. "Lu Luoshi, you are always my Long Fei's woman, wherever you go." Lu Luoshi did not turn back as she quickly walked out of the room. The first chapter. Thank you, 1YNN Ching-Ching's Tears, for your support of the 10,000 mooncakes. Thank you, Mr. Zeus, God, Shuayer, Ingfeng, Mr. Zhang, Greedy Wolf, Bowin, Dugaling, Yiluoxin, Precious, Bird's Soul, Life Like a Dream, Mr. Ong, Mud Loach, Old Huyong, Master Huyong, Yiyuishang, Ambiguous, Impudent Youth Zoroxy, Silence 75, O, Ching-Cheng, Sky and Earth, Free Wolf, 6789, replied Emosiang, Shadow, Little Zhang, Herda, Long Fei, still lacks maturity. 8_8419/2356542. Long Family Meeting Room. Long Family Meeting Room. Long Sanfeng was recuperating, so Long Fei had to carry the big banner of the Long family. Long Lei, do not let any of the people from the Nangong imperial clan escape. All of them will be imprisoned in the imperial palace until they die of old age. Long Fei ordered. Long Feng, lead 5,000 Long family troops to receive the Zhuge army. If they don't accept the conscription, don't force me to come back to the imperial city immediately. I will think of a way to deal with them. Meng Yu, Long Shan, lead all 5,000 Long family troops to subdue the Li family's troops. Just like Long Feng, if you don't agree, then immediately retreat. Long Yun, you are in charge of the affairs of the Fireglass City. Within 3 days, you must make the Fireglass City return to normal. Long Fei looked at Wang Jinglian and said, "Fatty Wang, your father is the minister. Immediately draft a plan to reduce the taxes. It must be completed within 3 days." Although the Long family has defeated the Three Pillars and the Nangong Imperial clan, they have offended too many people this time. It would be very messy and lively. Long Yun, your responsibilities are very heavy, especially those aristocratic powers. If they dare have even the slightest bit of ill intent, kill them without question. Long Fei reminded her. Yesterday, he had killed so many talented disciples outside the Violet Gold Temple, and these people were all noble sons, a very strong force in the Fireglass City. The most important factor in a country's stability is its people. As long as the Long family was acknowledged and respected by the commoners, it would be impossible for even some aristocratic powers to rebel against them. In addition, Long Fei thought for a while, then said, "Isn't Nangong Shao still alive?" allowing him to ascend to the throne, and even giving the Zen position to my uncle Long Zhanhai. This matter. "Xiaobai, you do it," Xiaobai replied. "Understood." "All right, that's it for now. Everyone get busy. Everyone must remember, Do not harm the people. We must erect the image of our Long family. Long Fei reminded her. Yes, sir. Everyone quickly dispersed. In their hearts, they admired Long Fei to the point of prostrating themselves before him. Of course, what they didn't know was that Long Fei had learned these from movies in his previous life. How does one govern the country? He didn't know anything either. However, there was one thing he knew. A country's prosperity depended on the lowest class of people. If the people lived well, then the country would definitely not be bad. After arranging everything, Long Fei returned to the thatched courtyard at the back of the mountain. Jojo, the leopard girl, and the shadow were all waiting for him. Long Fei looked at them and smiled slightly, saying, "Why haven't you all slept yet? You all haven't slept for the entire night. Could it be? Do you want to sleep with me?" And then Long Fei laughed sinisterly. The three great beauties serving him was something that they didn't even dare to think about. The leopard girl giggled. "Big brother Long Fei, do you want us to go to bed for you?" Jojo's face was flushed red as she said, "Young master." Her voice was a bit coquettish, causing Long Fei to feel waves of shock. "Ha ha!" Long Fei rubbed his hands together, revealing a wolf-like gaze, just as he was about to pounce on them. A Dragon Clan disciple ran in hurriedly and said, reporting to the young master, Master Chen, Prime Minister Wu, and a few other patriarchs of the S are all kneeling at the Long family's gate, requesting to see you. F***CK. Long Fei cursed in his heart and said, "Let them die," disturbing this young master's good fortune. The Long family disciple shivered slightly, then carefully asked, "Are you all going to die?" "Yes, sir." "All of you die?" Long Fei was very unhappy. Jojo said, "Young master, you should go take a look. They are all nobles of Fireglass City." Humph! Long Fei laughed evilly and said, "You guys wait for me." With that, Long Fei walked out quickly. Dozens of noble ministers were kneeling at the Long family's gate. Most of them were the ones who stood by Nangong Lei's side last night. Now Nangong Lei had collapsed. The Nangong royal family were completely destroyed by Long Fei. They were afraid that they would be rewarded for their misfortune and took the initiative to come to beg for forgiveness. Moreover, he even brought a lot of good things. When they saw Long Fei walking out, all of them kneeled down and said, "Young Master Long, please spare our lives." "Young Master Long, we were forced to do this. It was Nangong Lei, that bastard, who forced us to submit." "Young Master Long, we're innocent." All of them looked like dead fathers. People in their 50s or 60s began to cry. Long Fei looked at the gifts they had brought and said softly, "Bring all of these into the Dragon Manor. As for you, you don't need me to tell you what you should know, right? Just help the Long family honestly. Also, do you know what the Nangong Imperial Clan is doing? You should know what to do about the public opinion in Fireglass City, right? I don't need to teach you all. Let's go. Perform well. Otherwise, if you can't protect your head, it is possible to move it." Long Fei threatened. Everyone shuddered and nearly fell paralyzed to the ground. To kill in troubled times. At the moment, the Fireglass City had yet to reach an uncontrollable situation. Unless it was absolutely necessary, Long Fei would not advocate a massacre, even though he could gain experience by killing, striking energy value, but he was not a homicidal demon. He would not become a homicidal demon, nor would he be controlled by the system. He is him, Long Fei. Everyone kneeled down and was about to leave. "I am free and unrestrained now. I don't want to be the emperor. Haven't you been doing well in this period of time?" Indeed, Long Zhanhai was very good at governing countries. Long Zhanhai anxiously asked, "Brat, what nonsense are you talking about?" Back then, Father made you the young master of the Long family in the ancestral hall, and that was to let you take over the banner of the Long family in the future. Now that the Long family has become the new emperor, of course you can take over the position. Uncle, please spare me. I really am not someone who is qualified to manage a country. Let me manage a harem concubine or something. Before Long Fei could finish his sentence, he was glared at by Jojo and the leopard girl with an angry look. Long Fei immediately changed his words and said, "Uncle, what I pursue is freedom, unrestrained and unrestrained. This is life. You should be the emperor." Ha ha ha. To be an emperor. How many people's dreams were these? The harem had 3,000, and there were countless beauties. Every year, he would be able to go out and choose a concubine. Just kill whoever you want, being able to reach the heavens in power. Just how refreshing was that? However, not when you're really an emperor. At least, Long Fei didn't want to be the emperor. As an emperor, he had to be responsible for this country. Long Fei did not want to be bound. He preferred to be free. Long Zhanhai asked, "Xiao Fei, what do you want to be the emperor?" At this moment, Lu Luoshi and the two sisters walked into the small courtyard. This was the first time the three of them came to the dragon sword since they left the last time. Table of contents. Xiao Tian ran and giggled and said, "Of course it's entering our sect. Long Fei, after receiving your approval, you have earned the qualifications to select the disciples of the 10 Celestial Sect of Wonders on the first day of the first month of next year." Lu Luoshi said, acting as if it was all right. Even now, after being forcefully kissed last time, she still didn't dare look Long Fei in the eye directly. Chapter 3. Thank you, Xiao Yao, for your reward of 100,000 mooncakes. I, Haiyang, am extremely grateful. 8_8419/2356544. Yi Zian took out an invitation and walked over to Long Fei's side and said, "These are the selection certificate." Yi Zian took out an invitation and walked over to Long Fei's side and said, "These are the selection certificate." Xiao Tian laughed and said, "With your cultivation, if you can get first place in the selection, then you will be rewarded." After he finished speaking, Xiao Tian approached Long Fei and whispered, "At that time, there will even be a special reward." Then she gave Long Fei an ambiguous look. It was as if he was saying, "You know what the reward is." Long Fei was startled. "Special reward?" Then Long Fei looked at Lu Luoshi. For some reason, the expression in Lu Luoshi's eyes was somewhat ice-cold. Long Fei had been extremely busy during this period of time, especially dealing with the Yan Huang ancestor. The true breath that this fellow needed was too huge. It would need a few 100,000 points in 3 days. So Long Fei was a little too busy. Adding the lack of fire spirit grasses, he was unable to supply the dragon spirit pills. So Long Fei could only go and make other pills. He had always wanted to find an opportunity to talk to Lu Luoshi. Never had a chance. Looking at Lu Luoshi's ice-cold expression, Long Fei said with a bland smile, "When will I go?" "Junior sister apprentice, the invitation has been delivered. We still have other invitations to send." Lu Luoshi didn't stop at all as he turned and walked out of the courtyard. Yi Zian quickly followed. Xiao Tian was reluctant to part with her. After watching Lu Luoshi walk into the distance, she suddenly rushed to Long Fei's ear and said in a low voice, "Senior sister went back and cried for so long that day. I have never seen her so sad. Long Fei, eldest senior sister, has a fiancé, and he is very strong. I heard that she has to come to Fire Glass City to fetch her back. That person is very strong. You must be careful. You must also attend the examination. If we leave, we will be waiting for you in the Heaven Sect." Not waiting for her to finish. Lu Luoshi did not turn back as he shouted, "Little junior sister apprentice, Hurry up! Xiao Tian stuck out her tongue and chased after him. At this moment, tears fell from Lu Luoxi's eyes like droplets of rain. She did not look back, not even when she walked out of the Long family residence. She muttered in her heart, "Long Fei, farewell." There was a ball of paper in her hand. Last time, Long Fei gave it to her in Firewolf Valley. It showed a little girl laughing merrily, and a row of words. This time, she came to send off the invitation card, hoping to return this piece of paper to Long Fei. In the end, she didn't know how to talk to Long Fei, nor did she know how to talk to him. She did not dare to take another look at Long Fei. She was afraid that she would not be able to control herself and start crying in front of Long Fei. Lu Luoxi's voice sank slightly as he said, "Little junior sister apprentice, you can never speak of such nonsense in the Heaven sect in the future. He is, after all, the vice sect master's son and also our senior fellow apprentice." It was also at this time. Lu Luoxi suddenly stopped. Xiao Tian lowered his head and did not see Lu Luoxi stop walking as he ran headfirst into him. "Why are you leaving? Elder senior sister, did you change your mind? Are you going to look for Long Fei?" I knew that you couldn't bear to part with Long Fei. You cried so much for him, so you must have liked him in your heart, right? Yi Xian's face turned ugly, giving Xiao Tian meaningful glances, telling him to stop speaking. Xiao Tian was a straight-headed person. Whatever he said, he would not beat around the bush. Looking at Yi Xian's eyes that were constantly moving, he could not help but ask, "Second senior sister, what's wrong with your eyes? Don't you think the same as me?" I knew that Big Senior would definitely be reluctant to part with Long Fei. Let's all stay. I'm also not willing to part with him. Not waiting for her to finish. Yi Xian stepped on her foot and whispered, "Who do you think is up ahead?" Xiao Tiantian's reflex was still very slow. He even forgot the pain in his feet and said excitedly, "Is it Long Fei? Is he trying to stop us and then make us stay so domineeringly?" Suddenly, Xiao Tiantian's expression suddenly changed, and his body shrank back. Unknowingly, a wave of fear rose in his heart, not for himself, but for Long Fei. Xiao Tian lowered her head, looking like a little girl who had done something wrong, as she muttered, "Heaven's End senior fellow apprentice." In front of them stood a young man. He was a little over 20 years old and was dressed in white. His clothes were spotless, and the snowflakes on his head were fluttering. Not a single snowflake landed on him. The man was very handsome, and his eyes were a little cold. The man's name was Hong Tianjun, and he was from the Heaven sect. He was the #1 genius amongst the younger generation of the entire South Horizon region. He was also the only son of the current sect master of the Heaven sect, Hong Wantu. Power, talent, potential, and cultivation were all things that could reach the heavens. Hong Tianjun quietly stood there, looking at Lu Luoxi. He faintly smiled, extended his hand towards her, and said, "Luoxi, I'll bring you home." A soft sound. It seemed gentle, but his voice carried an authoritative tone that could not be defied. Obviously, he had heard everything Xiao Tian said just now. Lu Luoxi stood in place, did not move, and did not extend his hand either. He only coldly said, "Thank you, senior fellow apprentice." Finished, Lu Luoxi took a step forward, and his eyes looked straight ahead, but he did not see Hong Tianjun as he directly walked past him. He was extremely unhappy with the way he called her sister-in-law and sister-in-law. Lu Luoxi was his woman. No one is allowed to touch Hong Tianjun's woman. In the blink of an eye, Hong Tianjun suddenly disappeared, and in that 1,000th of a second, an explosion sounded out in the sky. Rumble! Next, a white shadow descended from the sky. Bam! After smashing to the ground started to crack rapidly as Xiao Bai spat out a mouthful of blood. Brother Xiao Bai! The moment the ice and fire infuriated, the flames in his throat churned. He locked onto Hong Tianjun and was about to spurt out. Rumble! Rumble! Lava burst out like it was burning the heavens, and yet Hong Tianjun simply did not defend at all and directly walked into the flames. With a slight movement, the surrounding snowflakes immediately turned into enormous balls of ice. Bam! The ball of ice moved and directly charged into the throat of the fire and ice. The flames exploded in his throat, and the fire and ice sunk down. He took a deep breath, and thick black smoke emerged from his mouth. Blood kept oozing out from his neck. Hong Tianjun laughed disdainfully. You can't even withstand one blow. Two divine beasts. Although he was still at the infant stage, he was still a divine beast. They were too weak in front of Hong Tianjun. Hong Tianjun was also ridiculously strong. They didn't even have the slightest chance of resisting. This feeling was too unbearable. Xiao Bai could not accept it. His body suddenly grew larger, from 1/2 meter tall to more than 2 meters tall. All of the white fur on his body exploded, like numerous steel needles. Wrath of the Wolf God! Roar! An incomparably strong power emerged from Xiao Bai's body. The combined power of the spiritual fruit of heaven and earth and divine beast also meant the accumulation of 50 spirit stones. He rushed out without caring about anything else. Boom! It instantly crashed into Hong Tianjuan's body. Hong Tianjuan's eyes turned sinister as he used both hands to block the wolf head. It was also at this moment a roar came out of Xiao Bai's throat, and from the head of the wolf, a substantial image of a ferocious wolf rushed out, pouncing straight towards the center of Hong Tianjuan's brows. Xiao Bai said, arrogantly, "Prepare to die." This was his ultimate move. Soul Reaper, Violent Wolf. As long as they assaulted the space between Hong Tianjuan's eyebrows, they would be able to swallow his soul. Hong Tianjun retreated back continuously as he felt a sense of danger in his heart. However, anger raged in his heart. To him, this was like being humiliated. His eyes turned sinister as his aura suddenly changed. He shouted, "You're courting death." Suddenly, he blocked Xiao Bai's attack with one hand, and his right leg trembled as a tremendous power was unrestrainedly released from his body. Boom! A loud sound came from the sky as Hong Tianjun struck his palm onto the wolf phantom and shouted, "Harvest your own soul, then." Bam! The strong power pushed the image of the fierce wolf back into Xiao Bai's mind. Moreover, as the palm struck down, Xiao Bai's head felt like it was about to split open. His enormous body suddenly flew out and heavily smashed into the ground. His body continued to tremble. It was painful, but there was no sound. Hong Tianjun was also enraged. Taking a step forward, the thick snow beneath his feet immediately melted into water and evaporated swiftly. Step by step, he walked towards Xiao Bai. Lu Luoxi suddenly rushed forward and blocked in front of Hong Tianjun, saying, "They are just baby war pet. Let them go one at a time. I will follow you." Xiao Tian and Yi Zian also ran over and said anxiously, "Senior fellow apprentice Zhu Tian, please spare them. I beg you." Hong Tianjun stared at Lu Luoxi, and the corners of his eyes twitched. "Is it because of that trash? You're the trash. Your entire family is trash. F***CK, who do you think you are?" Xiao Bai endured the pain and cursed. He would definitely not allow anyone to say that Long Fei was trash in front of him, because no one knew Long Fei better than him. No one knew better than him how Long Fei trained and broke through the shackles again and again. No one was more hardworking than Long Fei, Baidu's sister-in-law, a half. Floating Life's strongest upgrade system. He absolutely would not allow anyone to insult Long Fei. Ice and Fire also roared, "Master isn't a trash." Ha ha ha. Hong Tianjun let out a cold and crazed laugh. His figure flashed and stood in front of Xiao Bai, staring down at him from above. Chapter 6. Thank you, Xiao Yao, for your support of the 100,000 mooncakes. Thank you, 8_8419/2356547. 1. Double stats were unleashed. Teleport. Her figure disappeared, and she instantly appeared beside Hong Tianjun. The bloody aura of the dragon Salyer dispersed, and she slashed out, "Dragon God shocking! Rumble! Rumble! Rumble!" A series of sonic booms resounded in the sky, the explosive sound of Dragon Salyer's wreaking havoc in the space. Hong Tianjun frowned. If he continued to kill Xiao Bai, he himself would also be injured. In front of Lu Luoshi, he must not have the slightest wound. Immediately, he jumped backwards and flew straight into the air, quietly floating in midair. He sneered slightly and said, "Supreme artifact." Long Fei did not look at him. He supported Xiao Bai up and quickly swallowed a few healing pills into his mouth. It was the same with fire and ice. Xiao Bai looked at Long Fei and said anxiously, "Master, leave quickly with his cultivation base. I'm afraid that you have already reached the War Emperor realm. Too strong. Master, you have to leave. War Emperor realm." Xiao Tiantian also shouted loudly, "Long Fei, quickly leave this place, leave quickly." As he spoke, Xiao Tiantian's tears started to gush out of her eyes because she was incomparably worried and said, "He will kill you. I'm begging you, hurry up and leave." Yi Zian supported Lu Luoshi, her eyes glistening with tears as she said, "He will really kill you. Long Fei, you should leave quickly." Lu Luoshi was weak. She did not even have the strength to commit suicide and spoke with difficulty. "Long Fei, leave quickly." At this moment, Yan Huang Ancestor's voice sounded. "Brat, you're not his opponent. It's best for you to leave." Everyone told him to leave. Even the Yan Huang Ancestor wanted him to leave. "Ah!" Long Fei roared. He felt good. This feeling made him extremely unhappy. Lu Luoshi said loudly, "Long Fei, leave for me." Long Fei took a step forward, causing the idea to forcefully retract Xiao Bai and Binghua back into the warpet space, and then stared at Hong Tianjun, who was in midair, who was filled with contempt. His body moved. The idea roared in his heart. Wind Shadow Step, 4th stage, open. Boom. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up to Wind Shadow Step. Current level, 4. Moonlit Step. Whoosh! He took a step forward and instantly landed in midair, his body also floating in the air. He stared at Hong Tianjun and said, "Those who touch my woman, die. Those who touch my brother, die." Without waiting for Hong Tianjun to speak, Long Fei's idea sank and directly exploded his power to the maximum. The peerless attribute was burning. Dragon Salyer technique. Open the skin. Whoosh! His figure disappeared, and Long Fei slashed down. With a flash of blood red, he directly slashed towards Hong Tianjuan's head. Hong Tianjuan's eyes moved slightly as he said with a cold smile, "A trash is a trash." Even the supreme artifact in your hands wouldn't be able to unleash 1,000th of their power. As soon as he finished, his body moved, and without waiting for Long Fei's Dragon Salyer to fall, he flicked his finger. His fingers had become a sword. Sword Chi soared to the sky. One attack struck Long Fei's chest. Finger sword. Break. Puchi. Long Fei's chest was pierced through by a sword Chi. Blood spurted out from his back, and his body became heavy as well, falling down from the sky. One move. He directly dropped Long Fei's Dragon Salyer technique. Bam! Long Fei smashed onto the ground. With a heavy slap of his right hand, his body sprung. Moonlit step. Whoosh! Once again rushing into the air, the Dragon Salyer fought yet again, its blade aura soaring to the sky. However, Hong Tianjun laughed disdainfully, then said with a sneer, "You're too weak. Is it even worth trying to steal my woman?" Another finger sword attack came. This time, it was his left chest that was penetrated. Blood spurted out like an arrow. Long Fei fell down once more. Realm. The difference in realms was too great. He was only a war chief realm, and Hong Tianjun was already a war emperor realm. According to the levels in the game, there was a difference of almost 30 levels. With such a huge gap, how could he be his opponent? However, Long Fei was unconvinced but unhappy. Even though his whole body was dripping with blood, the moment he got up, he still charged forward regardless of anything else. Hong Tianjun sneered, "You're courting death." Chapter 7. Thank you, Xiao Yao, for your support. 8_8419/2356548. True breath surged from the center of the pubes, and he made a grabbing motion in the air. Die. Rumble. 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 The power of the War Emperor realm instantly exploded, and a wave of dense energy visible to the naked eye shot out, causing painful sounds to ring out across the entire horizon. Bang! It hit Long Fei's chest and bounced him off. Along with the Dragon Salyer in his hands, it fell. Buzz. Boom. The Dragon Salyer fell from the sky and directly stabbed into the ground. The bloody blade aura instantly disappeared and was crushed by the aura that exploded out from Hong Tianjun's body. Boom! Long Fei was sent flying and crashed into the city wall. The city wall cracked, and half of his body sank into the city wall as he continuously spat out blood. Too powerful. The War Emperor realm was too valiant. The #1 genius of the South Horizon region was absolutely not for show. Hong Tianjun swayed his body, his gaze becoming exceptionally dark and gloomy. Staring at Long Fei, who was on the city wall, he disdainfully said, "You can't even take a single blow. With trash like you, what are you going to use to fight me? What are you going to compete with me for?" Huh! Suddenly, with a roar, Hong Tianjun's figure appeared in front of Long Fei. With a whoosh, his 5 fingers moved and grabbed, pulling Long Fei out from the city wall. Bam! A line of energy shot out. It was like a shockwave. Long Fei fell from the sky and hit the ground with his body, creating a deep crater. "Master! Kid! Long Fei!" The ground cracked open, and Long Fei laid inside the pit. Ding! Red alert! Red alert! The player's life is in danger. The player's life is in danger. Please heal. Please heal. The system flashed red, and an alarm sounded. In the system, Long Fei's health point was only left with less than 1%. As long as Hong Tianjun gave it a light touch, Long Fei would die. This wasn't a game, not a game. Death could be revived in the game once more, but this was the real world. Death meant disappearance. There was no chance to try again. However, Long Fei's entire body was covered in blood. He stood up with much difficulty and walked out of the deep pit step by step. He walked to the side of the Dragon Salyer. Both hands tried their best. Phew, phew, phew. Long Fei gasped heavily, bent down with both hands clutching the Dragon Salyer tightly, and stared at Hong Tianjun, who had a disdainful look in his eyes, roaring, "Fuck, come again!" He took a step forward. Long Fei could not stand steadily and almost fell to the ground. The wounds on his body were too severe. However, he still wanted to go all out. There were always things more important than life for a person. To him, Xiao Bai, ice and fire were brothers. Brothers are more important than life. To him, Lu Luoxi was his woman. If he couldn't even protect his own woman and looked at his own woman crying while doing nothing, then what was the king use of living in this world? Death was very scary. Long Fei was extremely afraid of death. However, he was even more afraid of losing something. This was something he desperately cherished, the only thing he felt warm about coming to this world. Friendship. Thus, Long Fei was like a fool, fighting like a madman. He knew that he was not his match, but he had no choice. Hong Tianjuan's eyes turned sinister, and the look of despise on his face became even more intense. He coldly sneered, "If you don't know your place, then go to hell." Wang. The aura of the War Emperor on his body moved, and the powerful force spread across the sky. Yen, Huang ancestors' heart sank. It seems it's my turn to take action. His aura wavered. He had to protect Long Fei's life. He was in cahoots with Long Fei right now. If Long Fei died, he would die as well. In any case, he couldn't let Long Fei die. Moreover, he liked Long Fei more and more because this guy had an imposing aura that was unafraid of the heavens, the earth, and the earth. What made him even more adamant was that Long Fei was persistent. "Kid, listen carefully," Yan Huang ancestor thought in Long Fei's heart. Hong Tianjun took a step forward. This time, he definitely had to kill Long Fei. At almost the same time, =semi/floating life plus, Lu Luoxi broke free from her restraints, forcefully breaking free from the restraints placed on her by Hong Tianjun. In a flash, he stood right in front of Long Fei, watching as Hong Tianjun rushed towards him with a single step. She sank to her knees. Putong, kneeling in front of Hong Tianjun. Chapter 8 is to thank Xiao Yao for his support of the 100,000 mooncakes. Thank you 8_8419/2356549. An earth-shattering kowtow. An earth-shattering kowtow. Time seemed to stop. Everyone was looking at her. Long Fei looked at her back. Hong Tianjun looked at the iciness in her eyes. Even Xiao Tiantian and Yi Zian were stunned. Lu Luoxi said in a begging tone, and said, "I beg of you, please let him go. I agree to your request. I agree to the marriage proposal you made last time. Please let him go." He was extremely determined. Long Fei's heart ached, as if it was being torn apart. In order to protect himself, Lu Luoxi kneeled down to Hong Tianjun. This, Long Fei screamed in his heart, "Ah, ah." However, facing the back where Lu Luoxi was kneeling on the ground, he couldn't say a single word because he felt that he didn't even have the right to speak, not even the slightest bit qualified. Not only was he unable to protect his own woman, he even had to make his own woman kneel. This made him feel incomparably uncomfortable. Why? Why am I not strong enough? Why am I so weak? Why? Long Fei's heart was screaming, enraged, and in incomparable pain. This feeling was even worse than if he were to die. Yan Huang ancestors' aura relaxed slightly as a strong surge of energy slowly disappeared. He felt admiration for Lu Luoxi. It was the first time he had ever admired a woman. At the same time, Yan Huang ancestor thought to himself, this might not be a bad thing for him. Actually, compared to Long Fei, Hong Tianjuan's heart was in an even more unbearable state. He had defeated Long Fei. He crushed Long Fei with all his might, but he still lost, and Lu Luoxi actually kneeled down for Long Fei. It was extremely uncomfortable. However, on the surface, Hong Tianjun revealed a complacent look, lightly smiled, and said, "Luoxi You said it yourself. Lu Luoshi said, I promised. Heavenly End Senior Fellow Apprentice, please spare him once. I am willing to marry you. All right. The anger in Hong Tianjuan's heart raged, but he still wore a complacent expression. He retracted his War Emperor realm abruptly, walked in front of Lu Luoshi, and extended his hand out. Lu Luoshi's body trembled. He held Hong Tianjuan's hand and slowly stood up, not turning his head back. She did not dare to turn her head, and she was even afraid of turning her head to look at Long Fei. Hong Tianjun looked at Long Fei complacently and said, Brat, today is your lucky day. Ha ha ha. A trash like you really isn't qualified to fight over a woman. Scram. Pride. He was extremely pleased with himself. His eyes were full of mockery and contempt. Long Fei stared at him. He could not do anything. He could only watch as held Lu Luoshi's hand. There was nothing he could do. This kind of feeling was not something that someone could endure. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Hong Tianjun laughed wildly and slowly walked out of the city while holding Lu Luoshi's hand. From beginning to end, Lu Luoshi did not even turn back. Hong Tianjuan's wild laughter still reverberated above the fire-glass city. Long Fei stood there watching, his eyes spitting fire, his body trembling nonstop. He hated himself for not being able to even protect women. Slowly, Hong Tianjun and his figure disappeared into the snow. Long Fei's body was also covered in a thick layer of snow. Suddenly, Long Fei punched him in the face, then roared towards the sky. I'm really useless. Xiao Tian ran over and hugged Long Fei as her tears continuously flowed out. Long Fei, don't be like this. Don't be like this. Don't be like this. Woo woo. They were all crying. In her eyes, Long Fei had risked his life to protect Lu Luoshi, but Hong Tianjun was too strong. This kind of power was untouchable to Long Fei. Long Fei's heart was bleeding, and so was hers. Yi Zian also rushed over and said, Long Fei, don't be like this. You've already tried your best. Even Senior Sister is looking at you. She once told me knowing you is the luckiest thing that has happened to her in her entire life. Long Fei's body was trembling. Suddenly, Yi Zian suddenly thought of something and said, Long Fei, do you want to take back your Senior Sister? Xiao Tian stared blankly for a moment, then chided, Senior Sister, he is already so injured, yet you still want him to fight with Hong Tianjun? Yi Zian looked at Long Fei heavily and said, Long Fei, what's wrong? Where did your aura go when you were facing the large power King Kong Ape? Where did you go in front of Long Zhanwu's aura? Facing Nangong, where did his aura go? You are Long Fei, the soaring dragon. What happened to you now? Just this little setback, and you can't take it? I'll ask you now, do you want your Senior Sister back? Yi Zian said one word at a time. Her eyes stared straight at Long Fei. Do you want to answer or not? Long Fei's gaze turned sinister, and he almost roared. Yes. Yes. Incomparable thoughts. If he had the strength, he would fight his way out right now. Even if he had to put his life on the line again, he would fight. Yi Zian's gaze sank and said, Listen up. From the moment they were born, Senior Sister Luoshi and Hong Tianjuan's wedding was decided. Senior Sister Luoshi has never agreed and has always resisted. This time, I came to the Fire-Glass City because Hong Tianjun forced me to come out and relax. Just now, Senior Sister agreed to it, which also means that after 3 years, they will be married. 3 years from now, on the first day of the new year, it will be their wedding day. Did you hear that clearly? 3 years. You have 3 years. If you are unable to snatch back Senior Sister Luoshi within those 3 years, not only her, but even I will hate you for the rest of my life. Yi Zian was incomparably domineering as she said, because I don't want to see senior sister Luo. She marry a man she doesn't like. Long Fei. Xiao Tian really wasn't willing to see Long Fei's heartbroken expression again. That kind of feeling was too unbearable. Xiao Tian really wasn't willing to see Long Fei's heartbroken expression again. That kind of feeling was too unbearable. Yi Zian grabbed onto Xiao Tian and said, "You telling him now is equivalent to giving him the death sentence and crippling him. What we need to do now is buy time for senior sister and let her postpone the wedding to 3 years later. Also to buy 3 years for Long Fei. 3 years. Long Fei, you only have 3 years. You must become stronger. You must." As the snow flew in the air, Yi Zian turned her head to look at the fire-glass city in the distance and muttered, "Long Fei, we are waiting for you at the Heaven Sect. You must come." Long family, Long Fei's courtyard. Many physicians went in and out of the room. Long Sanfeng and Long Zhanhai walked back and forth in the courtyard. Rising Sky Sect. The Chao Tian sect, they actually dare to bully my grandson. Long Sanfeng frowned. He was extremely anxious and wished that he could bear all of the pain on Long Fei's behalf. Long Zhanhai said worriedly, "Xiao Fei will definitely be fine. He will definitely be fine." A doctor walked out and shook his head at Long Sanfeng. "Supreme God, I'll do my best. The young master's injuries are too severe. We really did our best." Several imperial physicians followed suit, shaking their heads. The young master's body was penetrated by the sword qi, and the initial stagnation of his veins, the breaking of the pubes, and the stomping of the war emperor. Right now, his survival is a miracle, but there's really nothing we can do about his internal injuries. Long Sanfeng roared, "You bunch of useless doctors, what do I need you for? Get out." Thunder roared. Jojo's hands tightly clenched together, his expression incomparably worried, and his tears almost dried. Walking in front of Long Sanfeng, he said, "Grandpa Long, let me give it a try." Without waiting for Long Sanfeng to nod his head, she immediately rushed into Long Fei's room. The leopard girl immediately followed. Looking at Long Fei, who was lying on the bed, he was covered in blood, his face was pale white like a sheet of paper, and he looked like a dead man. "Young master," Jojo could not hold it back and burst out in tears. "Big brother Long Fei." The leopard girl couldn't help herself. Huff, huff. Jojo walked over to the bedside, but she could not care so much. She directly cut her palm and dripped her blood into Long Fei's mouth. The leopard girl was startled. "Sister Jojo." Jojo muttered to himself, "Since I was young, I have never been sick, so even if I received any heavy injuries, they would automatically heal without a single scar. It was only when I merged with the Phoenix blood lineage that I realized that there was a strange power in my body that could heal everything. Hurry up and wake up, otherwise that girl's blood will almost run dry. Her Holy Spirit blood is too pure, and after fusing with the Phoenix profound beast, this girl's future achievements will probably be heaven-defying." Finished. Yan Huang ancestors' aura had completely disappeared into the depths of the pubes. In that instant, Long Fei abruptly jumped up, and when he woke up, he saw Jojo's pale white face and how she was continuously squeezing out blood. He immediately said, "Jojo, I'm ready." Jojo's lips turned white and revealed an incomparably brilliant smile. "Young master, you're finally better. I knew that you would be fine." With that, she fainted. Long Fei immediately said, "Quickly get me some blood-replenishing pills." If it wasn't for Jojo constantly squeezing out Holy Spirit blood, even with Yan Huang ancestors refining, it would be impossible for Long Fei to successfully fuse it. Furthermore, it was impossible for him to condense a saint body of the first level. Half an hour later, Jojo also woke up. Long Fei looked at her. "You're really silly. Jojo giggled. He was still the same cute and mischievous servant girl, and said, "Young master, I'm willing to be dumb. I'm willing to be silly, hee hee." The three of them walked out. Long Sanfeng stepped forward. Xiao Fei. Long Fei looked at the courtyard full of people. He laughed lightly and said, "I've made everyone worry. Equals semi. Slash floating life plus. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Long Fei, will definitely become stronger. Definitely. 3 years later. I want to have asterisk king. Flip the gates of heaven." The 10th chapter, which should have been added to Xiao Yao's chief, has been completely used up. This is the 6th day. Chapter 10 update. For you guys, it will take no more than 10 minutes, but for Haiyang, it will take more than 10 hours. You even need to secretly write on your cell phone at work, and you will basically only sleep for a few hours every day. Everyone is worried about how much updates you will receive next week. To be honest, Haiyang doesn't know it is really too tiring, but tomorrow there will be another 10 chapters update, and Hai will do as he says. Brothers, thank you for your monthly tickets. Let us rush to the 10th rank. Will we still be able to help Haiyang advance another rank? A request for monthly tickets. 8_8419/2356551. New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. This was the first New Year since the founding of Yuan Long Dynasty, and the whole country was cheering. Jojo, you have to behave. Leopard Girl, you have to behave yourself. And you, Shadow, you've always been in the dark. You have to be good, too. I'm leaving. I will return in 3 years. I will take back the woman that belongs to me. All of you must be fine. Long Fei left behind a letter, as well as a bottle of ice-fire dragon blood that was made from seal runes. This dragon blood was enough for the disciples of the Long family. He was leaving. He had to leave, too, because his cultivation was different from others. He needed to kill monsters in order to level up. In these 3 years, he would definitely try his best to make himself stronger. He wanted to crush Hong Tianjun. He wanted to make Luoshi never shed tears again. Long Fei didn't dare greet them. It was because he was afraid that he wouldn't be willing to part with it. On the back mountain, Long Fei patted his ice fire and said, "Let's go, target Fireglass Mountain Range." Standing on the dragon's back, he overlooked the entire Fireglass city. Long Fei secretly vowed in his heart, "Wait for me, I will definitely return." Boom. They flew towards the Fireglass Mountain Range. Kill them. Don't leave a single one alive. Deep inside Fireglass Mountain Range, Long Fei suddenly shouted. Icefire and Xiaobai were the first to rush out, crazily crushing the surrounding demon beasts. Long Fei held onto the dragon salyer with one hand, his body constantly changing. Dragon salyer technique, cut. Rumble. Rumble. A group of demonic beasts had been killed. Toting skill. Solitary 9 swords. Mountain hit fist. Shockwave break technique. When the cooldown time came, Long Fei released his skill immediately, not caring about the consumption of the true breath at all. Fireglass Mountain Range's goblin beasts were like migrating. They were chased by a man, a dragon, and a white wolf until the ground was covered with beasts. Even the 5-level monster were the same, scared to the point of peeing their pants. A month later, ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, War Chief level 3. And then, Long Fei opened up the system to check his personal attributes. Player, Long Fei level, War Chief level 3 experience, true breath value. Full, skills, toting skill 3rd level, dragon salyer technique, 3rd level, solitary 9 swords, 1st level, mountain hit fist, 4th level, wine shadow step 4th level. Energy values, lucky value, 10 points integral value, war pet, Xiaobai 3rd level young, mount, Ice and Fire, level 6 young. Looking at the long chain of experience points, Long Fei tightly clenched his fists. 1 month. Only leveled up 1 level in a month. And this is only the War Chief realm. At this moment, with a swoosh, he chopped at the wolf. The moment he attacked. Teleport. Shwa. Without waiting for the wolf to fall, the dragon Salyar's chi was released. Dragon chop! Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk the 280 slashes came crashing down. He immediately killed the wolf with critical strike. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for gaining EXP from killing wolf. True Breath, 800 points. Energy values, 1 point. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Soul Lock Chain number 1. 10,000 points of experience points. Long Fei's eyes shook. This was the highest experience he had gained in the past month, so when he saw the 5 digits of experience points, his eyes shone brightly. Another 10,000. Long Fei roared in his heart. What's a Soul Lock Chain? Long Fei trembled as he opened up the system. Item: Soul Lock Chain description. Forging equipment. Description 2. Possesses a trace of soul shock and damaging prowess. Long Fei secretly thought, to actually have the power to frighten the soul, is that also a high-grade forging material? The Yen Huang ancestor said indifferently, it's an ordinary item, but if you want to succeed in forging it, it's extremely difficult. It requires too much spiritual energy to control. Something that the Yen Huang ancestor said was average was definitely a good thing. This guy was too abnormal. After being in contact with him for a period of time, Long Fei felt that the old fellow in his body was not simple. At this moment, a plump figure rushed forward. Beauty, I want to marry you. Without waiting for him to fall, Long Fei kicked him and sent him flying. Bam! Fatty landed on the ground with a smile on his face. It doesn't matter if you are a barbarian, a woman, or a man. This fatty will be depending on you. Ha ha! From today onwards, you are my Lord Fatty's boss. If you say anything, I will absolutely not say anything. If you go whoring, I will definitely watch over you. If you lie to a young girl, I will think of something for you. The more he said, the more ridiculous he became. Long Fei directly said at last, I'm shitting. Do you want to help wipe my butt? Putting his butt in this. It was still full of sh**t. Isn't this a bit unhygienic? Why don't we clean it up and insert it back in? Although I don't have this kind of hobby, if I can make it up to you, I'll take care of it. The fatty said with an aggrieved look on his face. Long Fei was speechless. The fatty quickly ran over and said, Boss, this fatty's name is Nyo Dahai. You can also call me Great Sea Ox or Great Oxy, or you can call me Nyo Hai. It was a long story. Fatty, can you calm down? Long Fei immediately interrupted his introduction. Nyo Dahai stopped and innocently smiled, saying, Boss, I will follow your orders. Long Fei said, I'm not your boss, so don't recklessly recognize me as your boss. Nyo Dahai immediately looked wronged and protected Long Fei's thighs, saying, Boss, you don't want me? Just take pity on me and take me in. I can eat. No, my specialty is eating. No, I will. I know how to warm the bed. Just look at the thick layer of fat on my body, and you'll know that I'm the best. The bed immediately gets hot. She looked pitiful and delicate. How did he look like a fatty? He was completely a woman. Long Fei continued to pull back his leg, but this fatty did not let go at all. Nyo Dahai had seen clearly just now that Long Fei had instantly killed a wolf with one move. Looking at Long Fei's barbaric look, he was definitely an expert in concealment. How could he let such an expert go? He had to hold on tight. Long Fei really had no choice and said, Let go of me first. Nyoda height, you accept me? Let go. If you promise to accept me, I'll let go. All right, I'll accept you. Pull the hook. Long Fei. Nyo Dahai reached out his pinky and hooked it around Long Fei's pinky, mumbling to himself, pull the hook and hang it on your pinky. You can't change it for 100 years. Whoever changes will become a puppy. Long Fei. After pulling the hook and even covering it with a stamp, Nyo Dahai then let go of his hand and laughed. Boss, we pulled the hook before. You won't abandon me, right? Without waiting for Long Fei to speak, 5 people walked out of the forest. One of them was an expert from the War Elder realm, while the other 4 were all from the War Chief. The man in charge grinned and laughed mockingly. Yo, aren't you a shameless dog? What? You're not letting go of other people's thighs again. Another laughed. It's a barbarian. Ha ha ha. Nyo Dahai, no matter what, you are still considered an outer disciple of the Xianjian sect. You actually hugged onto the thigh of a wild man. You have truly an F** king lost all face for the Xianjian sect. Xianjian sect. Their power was no weaker than the sects of the Heaven sect, a sect in the South Horizon region. It was clear that the fatty beside him was also a disciple of the Xianjian sect. Nyo Dahai's face slightly trembled and immediately said, Zhou Tianxiao, I was the one who noticed Thunder Dragon Temple Secret Realm first. What are you doing here? Wait. Long Fei's heart trembled. He immediately asked, Where do you think we are? Nyo Dahai replied, This was once the Thunder Dragon Immortal Sect, the Thunder Dragon Temple. Thunder Dragon Temple? Long Fei's heart became excited. This is the legendary Thunder Dragon Temple. I searched for an entire month, but could not find it. I did not expect to find it here. The reason why Long Fei chose the Fire Glass Mountain Range to level up was because of the Thunder Dragon Temple's secret treasure. He has 2 chapters of Thunder Dragon Temple Secret realm map on his hands, but it was completely useless. It was not a map at all. There were several times when Long Fei wanted to throw it away, and he felt like he was being toyed with. But now it was here. The scenes of the Thunder Dragon Temple's treasure map kept appearing in his mind, as he thought to himself, It doesn't look like it. The treasure map doesn't describe this place at all, and it doesn't look like it at all. Why is that so? Or could it be that these 2 treasure map are the other Thunder Dragon Temple S? Long Fei was very familiar with those 2 treasure map. There was no place that matched this place. The treasure map in his hands was more like a maze. Long Fei asked again, Are you sure this is the ruins of the Thunder Dragon Temple? Nyo Dahai took out a treasure map from his bosom and said, This place is Thunder Dragon Temple. There's more. Long Fei was speechless and cursed in his heart. Who the hell wants to eat their fill? A Thunder Dragon Temple actually got 3 treasure map. It was also at this time, half /float * life. Zhou Tianxiao laughed coldly. Nyo Dahai, you have guts to actually dare call out my name. Who do you think you are? Brother Zhou, don't waste words with him. Kill him. That's right, we are not in the Xianjian sect. Who would know if we were to kill someone here? As for the barbarian, kill them all. Chapter 2, 8_8419/2356553. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.